闇の時代を告げる彼が遠くなり響く戦うと思うよ今君は死も恐れず瓦礫の街を全て沈む夕日はくれない愛する星の未来を守るためもう神の刃は人の愛祈りも込めて貫け立ち上がれ気高く前定めを受け出せんしよたとえ傷ついて力尽きても赤く燃え見事に散って星になった命を時を超えその名前を胸に刻もう Just forever
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to like night 10, 11. I hope you guys are as excited for this one as I am. I'm still not over this whole quantum casualty thing. Obviously last night, pretty heavy stuff with us having to watch one of chat's most voted best characters die. Die twice. Not even just once, but twice. And we've learned the real dangers of time travel. It's not as daijoubu as what it has made it seem to be in the very beginning. So let's go. Without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on and see whatever Yoshimune has in store for us on his wild ride. They're gonna lock the gates if we don't get on home soon. Tama? Let me adjust the mic a little bit. All right. Here, I brought your bag. My book bag. I must have left it in the classroom. You know, you kind of scared me a little when you never came back. And you shouldn't sleep out here either, you'll get a cold. You're right, I'll be more careful. Are you okay? Kind of, sort of. I guess I don't blame you. But I know you guys are taking it just as hard as I am. Sorry, Tama, I know we promised to help each other cheer up yesterday, but it looks like I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. When did we say that, huh? What? Did I even talk to you yesterday? What are you talking about? Of course you did. I still need to wash and return your handkerchief. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a little out of it. No, not maybe, you totally are. You should try to get some sleep. You'll feel a lot better afterwards. What's wrong? I'm pretty sure you're having a nightmare. It looks like you've been crying. Sorry, I shouldn't have pointed that out. No, it's fine. It's not like I'm trying to hide it anymore. I wanted to tell you something, though. Telling her this won't change anything. I just want someone to know. The day before the murder, I was the one who went out to eat with Marimo. Did you see the news? What they said the motive was? Did the others know about this? No. So that's why you're taking it so hard. I mean, it is all my fault, pretty much. No, it's not. It's the murderer's fault. But the news report said... I don't care what they say. I hate seeing you make that face, especially when there's nothing I could do to help. So the only thing I could do now to help you is to tell you that it's not your fault. But if I can't convince you, then that's it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
だからそんな顔しないで
Told you, don't make that face.
そんな悲しいこと言わないで
Don't sound sad. I'm sorry, I'm just scared. I don't think I could take much more.
あの
Hey,
明日一緒にいようよ
why don't we hang out tomorrow?
お出かけしましょ
We should go out and do something. Well,
うミキでよければだけど
if you're okay with it.
たけるさん明日誕生日でしょ
Isn't your birthday tomorrow? You knew, huh? It's been so long since I celebrated, I kind of forgot I even had a birthday.
みんなで準備しようって決めてたから
We're all planning something special for you. I see, right. I do remember them throwing me a party.
ダメになっちゃったから
But those plans kind of got thrown out the window. Well, yeah, no one's really in a celebrating mood.
ごめんなさい迷惑だったねたけるさんには
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
すみかちゃんがいる
You've already got Sumika after all. Well, I definitely would like to spend my time with her, but with how close we are and my newfound feelings, I think I'd lean on her way too hard. That being said, though, I don't think I could handle being alone. Sure, let's do it. We could go have fun tomorrow. I can't see myself getting clingy with her. I'd actually be grateful to have her around.
どこに行く
Alright, where do you want to go? Anywhere, as long as it helps get our minds off everything.
時間はどうしますか
Okay, what time works best for you? Early as possible. I don't want to be here I don't want to be alone any longer than I have to be.
だったら10時に柊町駅前の
Haagen-Dazs.
でどう
Why don't we meet at Haagen-Dazs outside Hiraki Station at 10? Oh, ice cream? Yeah, that works.
決まりだね
Okay, that's that
じゃあ
then.
今日はもう
Let's go home, okay? Actually, if you're not busy, would you mind staying and talking for me with a while? Well, sure.
ミキでよければ
If you want me to. I just know that once I'm alone, I start overthinking things.
でもここにいると閉じ込められちゃう
But if we stay here, we're gonna get locked in, so alright, let's get out of here then. You ever been up here before?
ここで告白して結ばれると幸せになるっていう伝説は知ってるけど
I know they say that couples who confess their love here will have eternal happiness, but I don't really come here too often, no. Why not?
ミキはそういう話に縁がな
Because
か
I've
った
never had anyone to confess to. Well, me neither, but I still come here every once in a while.
たけるさんはサボったりするからですよ
That's just because you like to skip class. I mean, I don't do it that often, or do I?
嘘だよ
Just kidding. What's wrong?
たけるさん辛そうです
Tucker, you look like you're in pain. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone is, even you.
けどもっと辛そうだよ
I still think you have it the worst.
いつものたけるさんがいいです
I miss the old Takaru. I'm sorry.
ごめんなさいこんなこと言ったらダメだよね
No, I am. I shouldn't say things like that. No, you're totally right. I'll see what I can do.
たけるさんにはいつものたけるさんに戻ってほしいです
Good, I want to see you back to your normal self.
そうじゃないとみんなが不安になるよ
We all get kind of anxious when you're not yourself.
たけるさんが元気だからみんなも元気なんだよ
When you're happy, it makes us all happy, you know?
たけるさん泣きそうです
Takaru, look like you're gonna cry. So do you. Tama.
たけるさんのせいだよたけるさんがそんな顔してるから
It's your fault, Takaru. I can't help it when you look so sad. Well, I'm sorry. I can't stay this depressed forever, can I? Alright, let's get home. Don't worry. I'll try to be all cheered up by the time I see you tomorrow.
それが一番だよね
That would be great.
たけるちゃんあちゃんと帰ってきてたよかった
Oh, good, you made it home, thank goodness. Come to think of it, I haven't seen her since I dashed out of the classroom.
探しに行けなくてごめんね
Sorry I couldn't come looking for you. No worries. Did something happen?
それは
What is it?
ちょっと光月先生に呼ばれてたから
Kozuki wanted to talk to me alone in her office. About what?
ああ全然たけるちゃんが気にするようなことじゃないよ
Nothing you need to worry about. That's not true and you know it.
本当だ
It
よ
is too.
それよりさたけるちゃん
But more importantly, Takaru,
明日何の日か知ってるよね
you know what day it is tomorrow, right? Ah, my birthday.
本当はねみんなで一緒に用意してびっくりさせようとしてたんだ
To be honest, we were all planning a big surprise party for you, so I heard.
けど
But I know, it's fine.
騒いだ
Yeah, we didn't think it was a good idea to throw a party. Yeah, of course not. No one would want to celebrate at a time like this. But still, this isn't right. We can't keep going on like this. I know, but there's not a lot we could do about it. But this is way too hard to bear. If we can't break out of this, we're gonna drown in sadness. Sumika. Don't get me wrong, I'm upset about Jinguji too, but I just don't want that to happen. I want to celebrate your birthday, Takaru. Why don't we do something fun tomorrow, huh? Just the two of us, we should go somewhere. Oh, I already made plans. I promised someone else I'd go out with them tomorrow. Oof. Well, okay. I'm sorry, I appreciate the offer. I'm so sorry. If I go somewhere alone with you right now, I'm worried I'll just take advantage of you. I really do want to be with you, but with all the pressure I'm feeling, I would jump the gun and confess my feelings. I can't let that happen yet. I don't want to use you to alleviate anxiety. What are you even saying? You made those plans to try and get yourself through this, right? What do you have to apologize for? Yeah, but... This isn't like you at all. You can't be like this. I have no clue who you made plans with, but I'm sure they just want to cheer you up too. And as long as it makes you feel better, it's good enough for me. Though to be honest, I wish I was the one to cheer you up. I'm not trying to say you should cancel and go somewhere with me though. I just felt it'd be better to be upfront with you about it, or else you'd think I was upset. I should be free later in the evening. Oh, I'm such a weakling. If you want to get dinner or something. Oh, what a slap in the face of the person I've already made plans with. You sure? Yeah, we're meeting up really early. It's not like we're going to spend the day together. I ran away once and I can't stop. You know, it's not what I meant. Can we really hang out? I mean, yeah, totally. You promise? I do. I'm so glad. I'll come pick you up tomorrow night. Could I call you like an hour beforehand? That's fine, I'll be waiting. Cool. What's wrong? For a second there, you look like your old self again. I'm getting there, don't worry. Okay, I'll leave it at that then. Well, I'll be waiting for you tomorrow. Night. Yeah, good. Sweet dreams. Thomas, so late. We promised to meet here at 10, but that was 30 minutes ago. I know she always shows up for things at the last minute, but she makes it. Would something happen? I know it's dumb, but under these circumstances, I can't help but fear the worst. I'm starting to get worried. It's almost noon. Something happened. Was Yuko wrong? I don't even know Tama's phone number. Her house is far, but I can't just sit around doing nothing. Huh? Tama! Oh, she's alive and she's not injured. Oh, Takaru. Are you okay? You're not hurt. What do you mean? Of course I'm not. That looks like you're good, thank God. What a relief. After what happened to Marimo, I couldn't help but worry. Takaru, what are you doing out here? Just taking a walk? Oh, you're gonna play dumb? Pretty sure you know why I'm here. Why are you here? I guess I just started walking to school for some reason, not sure why. School, but what happened to our plans? Plans? If you wanted to go to the school, we could have just met up there instead. Takaru, what do you want about? What do you mean, what am I talking about? You told me yesterday we were going to meet in front of Hiragi Station at 10, remember? I did? What the hell? She messing with me? No, she wouldn't. What's going on? What are you trying to pull here?
こと言われても、どうして私とタケルさんがそんな約束してるの？
I don't know what you mean. Why would not you and I make plans? What, seriously?
ミキが約束したのかな？
Are you sure I agreed? Remember after school yesterday up on the roof, we said we were gonna go clear our heads?
タケルさん、もしかして。
Takura, are you... Not again. What do you mean, not again? Nothing sorry?
でも、してない約束のことで怒られても、
But
ミキ困っちゃうよ。
it's not very nice to get upset at me over plans I didn't make. I just told you...
だいたい休みの日に二人で待ち合わせしてお出かけする理由もないんだし。
And there's no reason for us to meet up and hang out outside of school, is there? Oh, for crying out loud. Does the word birthday ring any bells?
誕生日？
Birthday? Whose? Mine? You guys were planning something for it?
そんなことしてないよ。だいたいなんで白金くんの誕生日に
No, we
ミキが
weren't.
準備する
Why
の？
would I be preparing something for your birthday? Shirogane? Okay. I know what you're trying to pull, but if you can give it a rest. I'm done, seriously.
確か白金くんだよ
I
ね。
mean, Shirogane is your name, right? What? What are you saying?
ミキのことからかってるんだったら、そういうのはよして
If you're playing some kind of prank, then just stop. Oh, come on. Could you cut it out already?
なんで怒ってるの？
Why are you getting mad at me? What do you mean, why?
私帰ります。
I'm gonna go home. What's your problem? Wait up.
さようなら。
Goodbye. What's going on here? What the hell? Something's not right.
あまり大きな声は出さないでください。
Could you not be so loud?
周りの人に迷惑です。
People are gonna stare. What's wrong with you today?
タマ？誰それ？
Tama, who's that? Who's Tama? You're Tama.
なんで怒ってるんですか？
Why are you getting so mad at me?
ミキ、何もしてないのに。
I didn't do anything.
誰かと間違ってるんじゃ。
Look at that face. Oh god. Are you sure you don't have me confused with someone else? Why does she look so scared? Like she doesn't know me.
もう許してください。
Let me go. No, wait, I wasn't trying to.
怖いことしないでください。
Please don't hurt me. You really don't know who I am?
知りません。ごめんなさい。
I really don't know who you are.
人違いでもひどいよ。
You've got the wrong person, so leave me alone. What the hell? What just happened? What's going on? Why is she afraid of me?
とにかく何かを感じたらすぐに教えに来なさい。
For now, just tell me if there's anything that goes strange. There's no way.
そんなことを言って。
え？
タケルさんと話したっけ？
何言ってんだよ。しただろ。ハンカチだって洗って返すから。
ごめんなさい。ミキ、混乱してるのかも。
Is that why she was spaced out yesterday too? This can't be happening. Tama's memories are fading.
怖いことしないでください。
あらまあ、平穏な生活は意外と短かった。
Oh dear, looks like your peaceful life didn't last so long. Sensei, they're gone. Her memories are gone.
落ち着きなさい。記憶が消えたのは
Slow down, who? Sorry, it's Tama. She lost memories of me.
どんな風に詳しく教えて。
How do you mean? Give me the rundown. After school yesterday, we made plans to hang out this morning. We thought it might help to get our mind off things. We were supposed to meet up outside of the station at 10, but she never showed. I went and found her, but when I asked what happened, she didn't remember making plans at all.
そう。
None of what she was even saying seemed to add up, and the more I talked to her, the more I realized something's not right.
それで
Then she started crying and shaking with fear. She didn't know who I was.
まさかとは思ったけど。
And here I thought it was impossible. What? Nearly impossible? What do you mean you might...
曖昧な仮説を立ててただけよ。でも念のため、鏡と三剣にはあんたに近づかない方がいいって助言しておい
It
た。
was a shaky hypothesis, but I did advise Kagami and Mitsurugi to stay away from you.
でもまさか、玉瀬にまで影響が及ぶとは。
But for it to affect Tomase? You're in deeper than I thought. What?
こっちの世界の白金に関わる因果情報が流出し始めている。
Casualty information related to this world Shirogane is beginning to leak. You mean we're not receiving information from the other world anymore? Is this my fault too?
前に私は あんたが因果情報を受け取る受容体だと例えたけど、それは違った。
Last time I told you you were acting as the receiver for the casualty information, but I was wrong. You're telling me this now?
一方的に受け取るだけではなく、因果動態であるあんたを起点に、二つの世界は因果情報のやり取りをしている。ということ。
You're not just receiving information. As the casualty conductor, you're acting as the reference point from which the two worlds exchange information. That's what this means. This is
二
ridiculous.
つの世界をつなぐパイプの入り口は常に白金タケルと共にある。因果動態であるあんたの近くにいる存在ほど。
Shirogane Takeru is always going to be connected to one end of the conduit, so the closer someone is to you, the easier they'll be effective. But how could that be
あ
possible?
んたが好むと好まざるとに関わらず、あんたの意識がそのパイプのチェックシステムとして。
And whether intentional or not, your consciousness is acting like that conduit's flow control system. But, like, why? Why does it have to be their memories? Aren't there, like, plenty of less important things that it should take?
おそらく記憶が最も差し障りのない因果だってことでしょう。普通に考えれば軽いものから先に流されていくものよ。
I'd wager that memories are the most innocuous form of casualty, and as with any sort of magnetic force, the lighter things go first.
最近の記憶から遡って消えていることからもそう予測できる。記憶が新しいほど付帯情報や他の記憶との関連付けが少ない分。
This would also explain the most recent memories of the first to disappear. The newer memory is, the less it depends on whether other memories and other auxiliary information, which makes it lighter.
そもそも記憶って何かしら。
What do you think memories are anyway?
対象を観測し、得られた情報を整理して貯蔵することじゃない。
Therefore, when we observe an object or a phenomenon, then we catalog it, right? Catalog
五
it.
感などを使って観測した対象の情報を各人が持つ脳のデータベースと照合して。
When you observe something with any of the five senses, you could cross-reference that information with your brain's internal database.
その対象が何であるかを確定し、それを脳の記憶野に貯蔵したもの。それが記憶じゃない。
Thereby ascertaining what exactly you just observed. That information then gets stored into your brain and forms a memory. Can we agree? Yeah, sounds right to me.
じゃあ、相手からあんたの記憶がなくなるメカニズムを仮説に従って簡単に。
Then we should have no trouble explaining the process by which someone might lose their memories of you in terms of the hypothesis.
まず基本。例えば、光月優子がこの部屋に一人でいるときに白金健が入ってきた。
Let's start with the basics. It's a scenario. Takeru enters a room and Kozuki Yuko is the only one in it. Okay? Okay.
まず、私は自分が部屋にいることを認識する。次に、誰かが入ってきたらしいことを認識する。
The first thing I recognize is that I'm in the room. Next, I recognize that someone else has entered. Still with me? Yeah.
じゃあ次に、私は何をする？
So what do I do next? You observe the person who entered the room.
その通り。観測して情報を受け取った私は、その情報を脳にあるデータベースと照合して、部屋に入ってきた人物が白金健であると認識。
Exactly. I observe them, take their visual information, cross-reference it with my own mental database, which in turn allows me to recognize the person who entered as Shirogane Takeru.
それに、日時や場所等の付帯情報を合わせたものが、何月何日何時何分に白金がここに来たという新しい情報として脳のデータバンクに蓄えられる。これをなんて言う？
Then I combine this recognition with the time, place, and other relevant details to create a new observation that Shirogane came here on X date, X time, and stored that data as well, thereby forming a memory.
その通り。では、最初のシチュエーションに戻って、いよいよお待ちかねの。
Correct. Now back to square one.
私が部屋にいることと、誰かが入ってきたことまでは認識した。
Let's say this is right after I recognize someone else has entered the room.
ここで、二つの世界をつなぐパイプのセンサーが作動する。
At this point, the sensor of the interdimensional pipeline is triggered.
センサーは、誰かがそこにいる、その程度の認識であれば、パイプに送り込まない。
The fundamental recognition that someone has entered the room is too vague for the sensor to pick up and send through the pipeline.
だけど、私が白金だと認識したら、センサーが白金関連の因果情報としてパイプに送り込んでしまう。
But as soon as I confirm that it is you, the sensor recognizes that Shirogane is related to casualty information, and that realization gets sucked through, which means you wouldn't recognize the person who entered the room as me.
その通り。それが記憶消失のメカニズム。あくまで想像。
Exactly. It's possible that memories disappear via the same process. It's only a guess, though. And you think that's what happened?
センサーがどうやって白金関連の因果情報を認識しているのかがわからないけど、
I don't know how the sensor determines what casualty information is Shirogane related, but
おそらく、あんたの意志の状態で変化するんだと思うわ。
I assume it probably fluctuates depending on the stability of your willpower. Are you saying I'm responsible for this? You think it's my willpower that decides which memories get erased? But I've never even thought about this before. Why would I ever want my friends to forget about me? How could you say I willed this to happen?
そうよ。それが表層の意識によるのか、自覚できない深層意識によるものか、 そこまではわからないけど。
Yeah, though I don't know whether that has more to do with your conscious mind or something in your subconscious you aren't aware of.
おそらく相手はどこに出かけようだとかそういうことをあれこれ想像したんでしょうね。
Your friend probably spent a lot of time thinking about what you two might do today. In the same vein, you kept these plans fresh in your mind as you waited in anticipation. And that's why all the related memories got pulled into the conduit and forgotten?
そうね。
More or less. But then, why didn't that happen right off the bat the moment we made the plans?
無責任なこと言うみたいだけど、私は全てを知っているわけじゃ
I
ない。
don't have all the answers.
だけど、そこに発生する時間差が原因解明の糸口になるかもしれない。
However, that original time lag may be a clue that could lead us to the original cause, which means...
勘違いしないで。原因が分かったとしても、それを防ぐことができるとは限らない。
Now don't get too excited. Understanding the cause doesn't necessarily mean we could do anything about it. You're right.
一つ言えることは、センサーの情報認識にはある程度の時間がかかるってこと。
All we can say for sure is that it takes time for the sensor to recognize
だ
information.
けど、最初は緩慢でも、その人間の白金の記憶特性を一度認識すると、何かを引き金に爆発的に食い荒らしていく
But
の。
while it may be gradual at first, as soon as someone consciously acknowledges that their memories of Shirogane, it triggers something that causes those memories to decay at an exponential rate.
今日会う約束をしたという情報は、昨日あんたと別れてから今朝までの間に送り出された。
The information related to your plans today was most likely sent through the conduit sometime between when you two said goodbye yesterday and woke up this morning. Then by the time I woke up, it was too late.
そうよ。でも、忘れたのはそこまで。今日会った段階では、それ以前の記憶はまだあった。
Yes, but at that time, that was the only memory that had been sent through. The rest of their memories were still there when you met up today, weren't they? I think so, at least.
そしてその時、それをあんたが確かめようとすると、相手は自分の脳の中にある白金と約束をした記憶。
So when you probed your hapless victim about it, they tried to search their memories for any plans they made with you.
それを感知したセンサーは、相手が探り当てた白金と約束をした記憶を白金に関する因果情報として関連付
The
け
sensor
送り出す。
detected that, determined the promise that you made to be Shirogane related casualty information, and sent
そ
it
し
off.
て不毛な会話が交わされ、相手が記憶を探るたびに、さらに様々な記憶がセンサーによって関連付けられ、パイプに送り込まれる。
As you two continued talking, this process repeated itself until all sorts of memories were detected by the sensor and sent through the
さ
pipeline.
らに思い出そうと必死になった相手の意識は、最終的に白金健という存在そのものに関する根源情報にたどり着いた。
Finally, as they tried harder and harder to remember your plans, they ultimately arrived at the most fundamental memory, your identity, Shirogane Takaru. So they would forget that I even exist.
この人は私を知っているようだ。状況から判断して、私が知らないのはおかしいようだ。なら、この人は一体誰だろうか。
This person seems to know me. Given the circumstances, it would be strange if I didn't know him. So who is this guy? Why don't I know?
センサーは因果の結果から遡り、相手の脳にある白金健に関するすべての記憶情報を芋づる式に関連付けて根こそぎ送り出してしまったの
The sensor started from the top, combing backwards through its victim's memory as it found every last piece of Shirogane Takaru-related information, before uprooting it all from the very source and sending it off.
そして根源情報を失った相手はあんたのことを見知らぬ誰かという存在として認識す
And
る。
without that fundamental information as to who you are, all they see and all they look at you is someone I don't know. Then by pushing them harder and harder to remember, I made them forget me more?
そういう言い方で言えば、そう
That's one way of putting it. So it's my fault again. It was me. It always is me. I could kind of tell I was the one to blame, but I didn't want to believe it till she told me. Everyone's gonna forget about me and it's all my fault, just like Marimo's death was. This is so messed up. How could this happen? How could this get any worse?
まだよ。
Well, it could. What?
まだ最悪じゃないわ。
This is the worst case scenario yet. What do you mean? There's a way to fix it then?
残念ながら逆。本当の最悪はここからよ。
Unfortunately, it's the other way around. Things get worse from here. What? The worst is still yet to come?
あんた、まだ気づいてないの？まあ、この状況じゃ頭が回らないの
You still haven't figured it out? I suppose that under the circumstances, I can't blame you for being slow.
神でもない限り、見ず知らずの人間が誰であるかを知ることのできるもの。
Unless you're a god, there's no way of telling who a person is unless if you got no recollection of them. Your point?
このままあんたが顔見知りに直接接触し続ければ、その相手はあんたを白金健として認識できなく
If you keep coming into direct contact with your acquaintances, they'll all cease to recognize you as Shirogane Takaru.
そして、あんたを知っていた全員が白金健を認識できなくなった
Once everyone you know loses all recollection of
そ
you,
れがあんた以外の人間にとって白金健という存在の消滅であることに 気づいている？
Then, as far as the world is concerned, Shirogane Taku would have never existed in the first place. Or did you not realize that already? I'll never have existed?
ヤシロが観測をやめたら、あんたを実体化させる観測者は向こうの世界の人間が持っている白金タケルの記憶とあんたの意志しかなくなるでしょう。最悪、白金タケルという存在自体が消し飛んでしまうかもしれない。まあ、あんたの周りの人間があんたを覚えている限りそんなことにはならないから。この前言ってたわよね。
We talked before about how observation works, right?
もしみんながあんたを忘れたら、あとはあんたの意志しか観測者はいなくなる。
If everyone were to forget you, then the only thing left to keep you materialized would be your own willpower.
あんたができることは、もう世界を強く意識するしかないのよ。
All you can do now is try to remain conscious as possible of the world around you. This can't be happening.
そうしなければ、あんたはこの世界から完全に消滅してしまう。
If you don't, you'll completely disappear from this world. That's insane. What have I gotten myself into? This shouldn't even be possible. Come on, it'll be fine. Like, even if they forget everything they ever knew about me, even if it's like I'm starting over from square one, I could work with that. Oh, I just had to befriend them again, right? Let's just say I have to start over, make new memories with them from scratch. Nope.
仮に
Sorry.
その相手と人間関係を再構
Even
築
if
し
you
た
were
と
to
しても
rekindle those relationships, any new memories you might form
因果情報が発生した瞬間にパイプに送られてしまう。
would immediately be detected as casualty information gets sucked out through the pipeline. I could live with that.
忘れないでちょうだ
Have
い。
you... Don't tell me you've forgotten.
あんたはその相手に不幸をもたらすかもしれない存在だってこと。
You're an existential anomaly capable of ruining the lives of anyone you interact with.
あんたが関係を深めれば深めるほど、その人間から白金の記憶を奪い、
The more involved
そ
with
して
you get with
予
someone,
測不能な因果を与える
the
こ
more
と。
their memories of you will fade and the more you'll afflict them with unstable casualty. Are you kidding me? So as long as I live in this world, I can't interact with anyone? Are you saying that I have to live my entire life without any human interaction?
因果動態という運命からは逃げられない。向こうの世界とこっちの世界に因果の高低差がある限り、永遠にね。
You can't escape your fate as a casualty conductor. Until the casualty of our world reaches equilibrium, this will never end. Great. At this point, there's no way for me to get back to that world. And even if there was, why the hell would I want to correct this casualty imbalance? Guess that means I could only there's only one escape. I could just let myself disappear.
最悪、白金タケルという存在自体が消し飛んでしまうかもしれない。あるいは、もともとその世界にいた白金タケルに一方的に取り込まれてしまうかもしれない。それ以前に、自分で消しちゃうこともあるかもね。
It all makes sense now. That's what she meant. She was saying that I just might kill myself. Shouldn't have expected anything less from you, you sly dog. You knew this would happen if I went back home. Truly incredible.
かける言葉もな
I
い。
don't know what else to tell you. I'm a coward. I tried to run away from Marimo's death, but it brought me back here with me, causing her to die yet again. But that wasn't the only thing that I brought back with me. I just don't know who else got dragged into it. I have no idea what might happen to anyone. It's my fault and there's nothing I can do to stop it. That's my reality. That's the curse the other world put on me, and I'm never going to escape from this. All I did was find my way home to the world I never should have had to leave in the first place. I wanted that life back. Is that wrong? Why is this happening? What did I ever do to deserve this? I guarantee that if you saw Marimo die right before your eyes, you would have done the same thing. Can you really tell me you wouldn't have wanted to run away from that world too? Well, can you? You don't even appreciate how good you've got it here. You just go about your business without a care in the world, blaming your problems on someone else? Do you have any idea about what happened to our species? What becomes of our planet? Why won't you answer me? Didn't you say I only have myself to blame? Why won't you tell me it's just my fault?
こんな私でも
I might be harsh, but I'm still human.
姉の辛さが分かったわ。私には医者をやってる姉がい
That's the first time I've ever heard of her having a sister. I think I can understand how hard it is for my sister in the medical field.
人に死の宣告をする。いえ、いろんな事情で告知できず、心に留めておくことも多いんだ。
She has to look people in the eye and tell them they're gonna die, though I'm sure that at times circumstances require her to keep that information to herself.
どんなに頑張っても毎日人が死んでいく。遺族から罵られることも多いと思う。
No matter how hard you try, patients die every single day, and I'm sure she's had plenty of bereaved families try to take the blame on her.
そんな修羅場をくぐった姉になら、もしかしたら
My sister has to work in that hellhole, but she's used to it. But for a novice like me, it's too much to handle. What's too much to handle? This is the first time in my life I've been in so much pain. I could hardly feel anything. It's the first time I've ever questioned the value of my research. Well, why did I even take up this line of work? It wasn't to kill Marimo, I can tell you that much.
少なくとも抗うことのできない見えない力に翻弄され狼狽し打ちひしがれる教え子の姿を見守るためじゃな
It
か
wasn't just so I could see one of my own students get tossed around by some unstoppable cosmic force until he's traumatized to the point of being deranged.
この世界から一人の人間が消滅していくのを指をくわえて見ているため
And it wasn't so I could sit back and watch helplessly as another human slowly erases from existence.
決して世界を救うつもりでも何でもなかったんだけ
To
ど
be fair, I certainly wasn't hoping to save the world or anything.
天才が本気出しちゃおうかしら
Perhaps it's time I put this brilliant brain to work, huh?
白金
Shirogane?
慰めにもならないと思うけどセンサーの認識速度の話をして
This might not be much consolation, but I could say one thing for sure, and that I know there's a delay in the sensor recognition. And what's that?
マリモは死んだ時あんたのことはちゃん
When
と
Marimo
覚え
died,
てたはず
chances are she still remembered you.
もう帰りなさい
Why don't you head on home?
一生懸命な姿は私には似合わないのよ
You don't want to see me when I'm putting my nose to
こっちか
grindstone.
ら連絡
I'll
す
call
る
you when I need you. Go.
何
What is it? Before I go, one last thing. Last time I was here, you said that Sumiko would be safest from any incoming casualties, because she never existed in the other world, right?
言ったわ
Is that still the case?
白がね気持ちはわかるけど
I know how you feel, but I need to know. I could probably figure out a way to avoid all the others if I put my mind to it. But her, there's no way. She's the only person I can't stay away from.
そうね幼なじみだっけそれに隣に住んでるのよね
Right. Your childhood friend, that girl next door, she got that thing going on. Which is why I need to make sure she understands the reason I have to stay away from her. I want to know how much I could safely associate with her. Even if it means that she forgets who I am, I don't care. I mean, obviously I care, I'd never want that, but no matter what, I cannot let her be erased. As long as I know she's here, and that she's still alive, I could learn to live on my own. But if I were to just start avoiding her without saying a word, it'd only backfire, so I don't think she'd let that fly. I need to know before you forget me too. Please. Please. Fine, thank you.
現段階で消滅もしくは死んでないのであれば鏡が安全である可能性は高いとしか
All the moment I could say is, if she hasn't died or disappeared now, she's probably safe. And what makes you say that?
マリモは記憶を失う間もなく死という因果の影響を受けた
Marimo received her fate because she had a chance to lose her
と
memories.
いうことは明らかに向こうの世界の因果の影響を受ける方が早いということ
Which tells us that events from the other world affect things much faster than our own casualty leaks out.
今現在マリモ以外に誰も死んでいないのはマリモ以外には死という因果が存在しないという予測が可能
The fact that no one besides Marimo has died yet allows us to infer that there are no more deaths from the other world that would apply to anyone
そ
else.
して鏡が今でも無事にいるのは向こうの世界に鏡に関する因果が存在しない
And yet we could also say that since something's happened to Kagami, there must be no casualty information related to her in that world.
もともと存在しないのであれば因果は発生しようがないそういう意味で鏡は最も安全な
Things that don't exist can't create casualties, so in that sense, she might be the safest of all of us.
一つ聞くけどこれまで鏡に変わった様子はなかっ
Though I
た
must know, have you noticed any changes in her behavior? No, nothing major. I've seen her multiple times, and so far she's completely normal, no memory loss.
そうやっぱり
Just as I thought.
これは余計なことだと承知で話すけど実は記憶の流出についても同じことが予想でき
I
る
know I shouldn't tell you this, but I actually expect the same rules to apply to the memory leaks.
マリモのケースを見てもわかるように因果のやり取りには必ず受け手が必要だと思われる
As we've seen in Marimo's case, casualties can only be exchanged when there's a suitable recipient.
だから向こうの世界に鏡が存在しなければ記憶の流出も起こりがたいのではないかと考えられるの
So if Kagami doesn't exist in the other world, we could surmise it'd be all but impossible for her memories to leak.
あんたが今いくらベータとかいう宇宙人を意識しようが もともとこっちの世界にいないベータには何の影響も現れない。
I mean, like, you've been having flashbacks of that one beta or whatever getting shot, but that doesn't have any effect on this world, right?
それはあんたの目の前で撃ち殺されたっていうベータの因果を受け取る存在がこちらにはないから。
That's because beta don't exist. So there's no recipient that can accept that casualty and suffer the same fate. I guess that makes sense.
これはあくまで私の仮説。
That's only a hypothesis, though. I know. But then again, isn't the stuff about memories and the root cause of everything also a hypothesis?
すごいようだけど誰にも近寄らないに越したことはない。
Not to sound like a broken record, but the best thing to do is to keep your distance from everyone.
それが一番安全な。
It's the safest option. I know. What am I supposed to do now? I can't see anyone anymore. I can't talk to anyone. Anyone who acknowledges my existence is going to forget about me sooner or later. My grandma out in the countryside who I never see or talk to is going to forget me, and more people will stop recognizing me. I've got nowhere to go. Well, that's not true. I can go anywhere I want, just no one will know me. That sounds awful, though. How could anyone live like that? Like a pebble on the side of the road that no one notices? I don't get it. All I'm doing is standing here watching people go by, but it feels like if I moved a muscle, I'd break down and cry. Some people want to run off and be alone when the going gets rough, but now I'm the opposite. Yeah, crowded places are irritating because they're loud and you don't have freedom to walk at your own pace, but even as I stand here now, I'm kind of wishing I were somewhere a little quieter. The only reason I feel that way is because I know other people are looking at me and are aware that I exist. Pretty soon, even standing in a crowd of people like this is going to be miserable. At that point, I'll be grateful just to be around other people at all. Even if they're total strangers I've never seen, random passerby who will never remember me, I'll never be able to feel this kind of claustrophobia again. Once it gets to that point, what am I even going to live for? Well, I just have to wait and pray that Yuko finds a solution? I'm not sure I could do that. Oh, looky here, huh? Sumika. What's up, standing around? I thought you had plans today. Is this where you guys are meeting up? Not exactly. Stop it. You can't keep talking to her. Real quick, don't. Get lost. Just stay away. What the heck? Don't be such a jerk to me. That's right, I'm a jerk, so don't come any closer, don't talk to me. What's your problem? What are you getting so mad about? Are you in one of those moods? I'm not being weird, so stop saying that. I get that you're in a bad mood, so you better shape up. I mean, do you want me to return to your present? Huh? I'll have you know I searched all over town to find your birthday present. You know what day it is? Yeah, it's your birthday, isn't it? So are we still on for tonight? You remember that too? She still remembers everything. She hasn't forgotten a thing. Talker, what's going on with you? You're weirding me out. What happened to your plans? Does this mean Yuko's hypothesis was right? Oh, come on. Wait, I've got to think about this. Hold on. Upon first instinct, obviously, you want to press number 2, because it just feels right. But a hypothesis is just that. Just a theorem, if you will. I feel like it could definitely have some pretty terrible results if I decide on talking to her. So we're going to. You remembered. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Sumika remembers me. She hasn't forgotten. Is something wrong? No. I know things have been rough lately, but it's still your birthday and I want to help you celebrate it and hopefully cheer you up a little. What's the matter? Nothing. God, you're being so weird. What happened to your plans today anyway? Something came up. In that case, why don't you and I head out right now, huh? You're all freed up now, right? Come on, let's go, but...
そしてその時、それをあんたが確かめようとすると、相手は自分の脳の中にある
Sumika hasn't lost a single memory of me, so does that mean that Yuko's hypothesis is right and Sumika is the safest one here? But what if that's a fluke and her memories just haven't been erased yet? Hello, anyone there? If talking to her more is going to make her forget about me. Quit ignoring me. If she were to look at me like a complete stranger, if I ever had to see that happen, I'm talking to you, I wouldn't be able to bear it. I can't do it. What? He went against my dialogue option! What's wrong? We can't do this. Can't do what? I'm gonna have to cancel. I gotta go. I can't stand the idea of Sumika seeing me as a stranger. I have no idea whether pushing her away will prevent that, but... What's going on with you? Just don't come near me. Why not? I can't talk to you anymore. Why not? What's the problem? Hello? Answer me. I can't. Why not? You're being so weird. I don't really care if you think I am. Just don't follow me. What are you saying? You can't, okay? How could I be okay with that? You don't have to be okay with it. Just stop talking to me. I need you to stay away from me. Just please. She looks like she's about to cry. How many years has it been since I've seen her like this? We get into fights all the time, but it always turns into some routine comedy route. No matter what we say, or how we insult each other, even if we hit each other, we know the other person never has meant it. She doesn't cry like this because she knows it's all in good fun. I only tease her because I know she won't take it personally, but look at her now. It doesn't matter, just leave me alone. This is pain. Why are you running away from me? Let go. This is for the best. If the alternative is Sumika forgetting everything, then she can go ahead and think of me as a terrible person. I just don't want her to forget me. Even if I have to hurt her to prevent it, I'm okay with that. What am I saying? No, I'm not. This is stupid. Why do I have to say these things to her? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What do I do now? What can I do? Nothing I try is going to make any difference. I'm just going to spend the rest of my life alone. I'm not sure I could deal with that. I mean, look how helpless I am. I'm getting sleepy. What would happen if I just fell asleep right here? Who knows? Maybe I'd die. It is winter. My last birthday in this world was nothing like this. Sorry. Everyone worked so hard to throw me a surprise party. Tsukiyomi and the three idiots came in to help. I've had a lot of great birthdays in my life, but never on that scale. It was festive. It was fun. Can't believe I took something like that just to realize how lucky I was. I should have savored it more back then when I had the chance. Why did I take everything for granted? Why do I have to... What do I even have to live for? Maybe freezing to death wouldn't be bad. It's probably this cold that's got me feeling tired. Maybe if I fell asleep here I could die peacefully in my sleep without pain. And here I was, so afraid of dying, so traumatized, I ran away from everything. But now at the end of all of it, I'm begging for my life to end. I'm a hypocrite. Yuko, you sure are incredible. What the? It's so warm all of a sudden, what? Oh man, with the best song in the game playing, I couldn't have asked for a better song, a better scene for this song to play at. No way. Hey there, sleepyhead. What are you doing here? I can't help it. One look at her face and everything will fall away. Even someone like you shouldn't be sleeping out here. Why did you follow me? You've got to be more careful when it's this cold out. Your hands are freezing. What the? I was wondering why they felt so warm. Sumika's gloves? Those are the ones you gave me, remember? Why do you have these old things? They were too big for me when I was just a kid. I didn't get to wear them until recently. You dork. They're pretty warm, huh? You always know what to get me. Please. Well, why are you here after everything I said to you? Now apologize. I don't want Sumika to forget about me. You know, that really hurt my feelings. I'm more afraid of that than anything. I want to be with her forever. I can't imagine her looking at me as if I were a complete stranger. I mean it, that wasn't very cool, so I can't lean on her anymore. Just go home. And take these with you. Don't throw them, they're gonna get dirty. Stop caring about me, just go away. Nope. I'm not gonna go anywhere. Stop. Don't do this. Just go home. Was it something I said? Did I do something to make you hate me? You didn't do anything wrong. It's my fault. Well, did I? Well, say something. I won't know if you never tell me. Why can't I just lie and say she did? If you stop talking to me, I'll never understand why. You couldn't. Yes, I could. Even if I told you, you would never understand. The Joker. Even if I told you, you wouldn't get it. But I would. What makes you so sure? Because I get you. Trust me, you'd never understand. I can at least try. I know my grades may be worse than yours, but I just know more. Just please let it go. I understand you better than anyone. There's no way you'll understand any of this. You'll think I'm crazy. I don't care, just try me. I'm telling you, it won't make sense. It'll make sense to me, I promise. Why are you making this so difficult? I know it will, because no one gets you like I do. And even if it doesn't, I'll stay with you until it does. I'm not gonna go anywhere. You're such an idiot. Yeah, no duh. Shouldn't you know that by now? Trust me, I do. I know I'll understand. Just tell me. Sumika. I promise I will. And when I came to, I was in a completely different world, where humanity was at war with these weird monsters. So then I walked up to where our school was supposed to be, right? And there was a military base there instead. But May and the others were still there, and so were some of our teachers. It was like our own world, in a ton of ways. And was I there? No, you weren't. Oh, lame. No. That's probably the best thing. And why's that? To be honest, when I found you weren't a part of that world, all I felt was relief. It made me happy to know that you didn't have to live in a hellhole. That makes sense. So then what happened next? Right, so we were doing all our best to fight these monsters, but we all got wiped out. What do you mean you guess you got wiped out? I don't know. After we lost, everything got fuzzy and it was a blur. Okay. And when I came to again, I was like the complete world had done a reset. But I still remembered the fact that we lost, and I was still as physically fit as before at the reset. Interesting. So basically I swore not to let us lose again. And since I remembered how things happened last time, I changed history. At first things went great. My experience helped expedite a ton of things, and eventually all new events that hadn't happened before started popping up. I even came to with a super advanced TSF operating system, which was actually based on Valgaron, of all things. You see, they never had video games over in that timeline, so it was like a complete foreign concept. Wow, then you must have been like a hero over there, huh? Best pilot in the world? I was pretty popular. For a while I was convinced even I could save the world. But you couldn't? Our very first training exercise after graduating from the training academy was interrupted by an enemy ambush. I went completely berserk. I couldn't do anything. I would have died if one of the higher-ranking officers hadn't saved me. I beat myself up over that, and I sat there wallowing in my own misery until Marimo came to check on me. You mean Jinguji? Yep. She was our instructor. She was way stricter and way more intimidating over there, but kind-hearted underneath it all. She spent a long time consoling me, and just when I was finally starting to calm down, she died. I watched her get killed right by the enemy in front of me. I was so scared that I used this crazy machine that the Yuko in that timeline made all the way to come back here. This was the day before Marimo got murdered. By the way, so that's why you broke down in tears when you saw her. Call me a coward if you want. All I wanted to was come home and get back to my old boring life. But as soon as I did, Marimo died again. I asked Yuko about it, and it's my fault. She said I carried Marimo's death back here with me. I guess you could call it my punishment for running away. No matter where I go, there's no escaping it. It's my fault Marimo died. I'm just getting what I deserve. Well, you don't deserve this, not at all. You probably don't believe a word I just said, do you? What? No, I believe you. Of course I do. Sumika. It's written all over your face. It only takes one look to see how bad you're hurting. If you really believe me, then get out of here. If you believe what I just told you, then you need to stay away from me. Why should I? If you keep talking to me, then sooner or later you'll forget about me. Forget? Marimo died over there, which is why she died over here. That won't happen to you guys, though, because you guys didn't die over there. Instead, you guys over here will now lose all of your memories of me. Yuko said I'm part of a conduit that connects the two timelines. Everyone's memories of me are going to get sucked in and flow out the other side. Well, Kozuki actually said that? So that's why she told me not to go near you. Yep. So that's what was. I've no wonder I've been. You've been what? Oh god. Don't worry, I got it under control. What are you talking about? Oh god. Are you really just gonna take Sensei at her word? There's no evidence to support it, is there? Well, actually, why would spending more time with you make me forget who you are? That's backwards. She's making stuff up. Being around you is only going to help me get to know you even better. It's not going to make me forget. I'm afraid normal logic doesn't really apply here. Not anymore. Common sense went out the window a long time ago. The fact I'm here is proof of that. I won't forget you. I'm not going to forget you, but you will. It hasn't happened yet, right? I don't care what Sensei says, there's no way I'm gonna forget you over something like that. I'm telling you, she is right. No, she's not. She couldn't be more wrong. Soon. How could I ever forget you? We spent our entire lives together, I know. Forgetting you would be like forgetting half of my identity, but I'm telling you. Because without you and all the memories we shared, I wouldn't be the same person I am today. I know, same goes for me. So of course I won't forget you. I couldn't even if I tried. I'd never forget the memories of you and all the time we spent together. I'm telling you, you can't do this. I won't let you go, never. You're staying right here and that's final. Sumi.
タケルちゃんがいなくちゃ嫌だよ。あっち行けなんて言わないでよ。
I can't live without you, Talker. Please don't tell me to leave.
忘れないよ。絶対に忘れないんだから。
I won't forget you. Not now, not ever. You hear me? You're such a dweeb.
それはタケルちゃんだよ。
Well, so are you.
タケルちゃんといて私は私になれるんだから。
Because I wouldn't be this way if it hadn't been for you. You know, Sumika, maybe you really are different.
それが私なんだから。
You're a part of me. Maybe you really will remember me.
それがタケルちゃんなんだから。
And I'm a part of you. You might be the only one who can.
私から離れていかないでよ。
You can't just leave me here all on my own.
タケルちゃんの手あったかいね。
Your hand's so warm. Yours too.
いっぱい泣いたらほっぺたがカサカサになっちゃったよ。
After all that crying, my cheeks feel dry. Yeah, you've got some tear stains going on.
タケルちゃんもね。
Well, you too. Sumika's hand is so warm. I don't ever want to let go.
あ、ちょっと待ってて。
Oh, hang on a second. Hey, you couldn't have had worse timing. I guess that is kind of her style, though. I've been crying so much lately. But I have to say, it's a hell of a lot better than having my emotions blocked off by drugs and hypnotherapy. It feels so good to be able to cry when you need to. You know, Sumika used to cry a lot when we were kids, especially on that one Christmas Eve. She was inconsolable. She always waited for that Santa Claus, but he never came. She wouldn't stop crying, so I promised to give her presents from every year from then. And those gloves were one of them. Never would have thought she would keep them for all these years.
お待たせ。
I'm back. Where'd you go?
出して。
Hold out your hands. Okay.
はい。
Here. Whoa, that's warm. Compared to how cold my hands are, it's almost scalding, huh? Hey, I know this.
タケルちゃん、鼻垂れになってるよ。あったかいの飲まないとね。
I saw your nose was running. Figured you might need something like that to warm you up.
タケルちゃん。
あ、何やってんの？
見て見て、新しい自動販売機だよ。超絶シルコ持ち入りだって。
超絶ってなんだよ。しかも持ち入りって。
ねえねえ、お金ちょうだい。
は？
やっぱりおしること来たら飲まなきゃダメでしょ。
なんでだよ。つうか勝手に買え。
今ね、お金持ってないの。
バカも休み休み言え。なんで俺が。
大じゃないのさ。
あっ。
タケルちゃんありがとう。親切だね。
おのれ。
やっぱりこれからの季節、おしるこだよね。
もうすぐ衣替えじゃねえかよ。
Who would have thought this would actually come back into play? It's like the opening scene of Extra.
スミカはこれ飲め。
そしたらタケルちゃんの
Oh,
分
but what about you? Trade me yours.
なんでさ。
Why should I? Because I'll be 73 years old by the time you get the thing open.
けど
Whatever, thank you. Hey, now there's a face I haven't seen. Cinnamon Boy impression.
おいしいね。最高だよ。
Yep, delicious.
これからの
That hit the spot.
おしるこだよね。
Tis the season for sweet bean soup, huh? When isn't it, according to you? How could you possibly guzzle that any faster?
飲まないの？
You're not gonna drink yours? No, I will. Hmm? It won't come out. The mochi must be plugged in the hole. It's been a long time since I had to drink anything mass-produced. So you gotta give it a little more. It's not coming out. I guess you can get the same problem with canned cream of corn when it's impossible to get the last few kernels out, but this is ridiculous. That was good. How do you drink this stuff anyway?
教えたらタケルちゃんのためにならな
You
い。
gotta figure it out on your own. Why?
ためにならないからだよ。
You'll never learn how to fend for yourself. Oh, come on. Fine, be that way.
なんか久しぶりに笑ったね。
It feels like we haven't laughed like that in a long time. You're the only one laughing.
寒いからそろそろ帰ろう。
Anyways, it's super cold out. Let's head home. But I still haven't had any of my soup.
帰ろう。
Come on. Okay, fine. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
うん。やっぱりお出かけはなしだね。
Because our plans kind of fell through, huh? Yeah, sorry about that.
うん。たけるちゃんの悩みが分かったから。
It's okay. I'm just glad I finally found out what's been bugging you.
って話さなきゃ帰れないよ。
You're gonna have to let go of my hand at some point, you know? I know.
ねえ。
Okay. So, have you ever thought about our future together?
え？たけるちゃん。
Talk about expediting the process. This isn't supposed to happen for another 20 some odd days. No, I think it actually happens on the 26th. So he's 10 days ahead of time. No, I'm not gonna voice act this. Sorry.
ドキドキしちゃった。
Not yet. I think my heart skipped a beat. Could you come a little closer? These like zoom-ins are always so funny.
大好き。私絶対忘れない。
Our guy did it.
だからもう一回。
Thank you, Sumika. You show me just how reassuring it can be to feel the warmth of another person beside you. I can't believe how comforting it is just to have you by my side. This is the first time since I've come back into this world and I finally felt at home. Up until now, the only person I could talk to in either world with my problems was Yuko. There wasn't a single other person who knew what I was going through. It wasn't anyone's fault, of course. No one's to blame except whatever cosmic force dumped me into that world to begin with. That didn't make hiding the truth from everybody any easier, though. I've never been in so much pain, but I'll be okay for now. All because you listened to me when I needed it most. I was on the verge of suffocating under the weight of what I'd done and the secrets I had to keep. Thank you. Thank you. I owe you so much. You've finally given me the strength to move on. I may be at rock bottom right now, but all that means is there's nowhere left to go but up. I'm not going to sink any lower than this. But unfortunately, I don't think I could afford to get used to this. I love you, and I love you so much. And not just because I remember our future together, but I really am in love with you. I'm sorry. I had to know you felt the same way before it was all over and I couldn't help myself. The kiss we just shared shows I can never let you go, but I have something to live for now. As long as I know that you're still here, alive and well, I think I can go on living even if I'd have to be alone. As long as you remember me, I don't care if everyone else in this world were to forget me. I couldn't ask for anything more. Tomorrow, I'm going to say the last goodbyes of my old life. I'll go see everyone one last time and get one final look at the school that Marima loves so much. Just for one day, I want to feel like a normal high schooler, and then I'll leave this town forever. At this point, that's really all I can do for this world. It's better off without me. 7:45 a.m. You know, I've never been to school this early in my life. If Marima were here to see me now, her jaw would hit the floor. Guess you can chalk that up to that rigorous military lifestyle. But to be honest, all that military experience kind of felt like it was getting in my way when I first got here. But considering what my life will be like from here on out, I'm glad I'll have it. I've slept outside in the cold twice now without getting sick. Having a strong immune system will come in handy now that I have to rough it. Wonder what she's up to. Sorry she won't have anyone to wake up today. I know it's selfish of me, but I'd like to at least leave a little bit of piece of myself in everyone's memories. The more I interact with them, the more they forget about me, so I came here early to make sure I didn't bump into anyone. Something I remember hearing in the other world that really stuck with me was that you're only truly dead when there's no one left who remembers your name. I'm not sure I could endure having to watch myself die like that, which is why I wanted to leave everyone with at least a few memories of me, but most of all, I want her to remember everything about me. How we used to play when we were kids. How we used to laugh and cry and scream. And finally, how we confessed everything to each other. If she could hold tight to all these memories, I can make it on my own. I wonder how she'll react when I find out that I left without her. She'll be ticked off. I got a quick answer for her this morning though. She was zoned out, staring down at the floor. Probably still half asleep. Yeah, we'll go with that. What? Good morning, Shirogane. You're here early. Yeah, morning.
どうした
I
の
was positive you were going to be class rep. What gives? What about you? Why are you here so early?
宿題忘れちゃったから。先生のこともあるしさ。
I left my homework here yesterday after what happened to Sensei and all. Oh, I don't blame you. I guess class rep's going to be here soon. Wonder if she remembers me. Kind of feel like she'll go into class and I'll say good morning. She'll be like, who are you? Even if she does remember me, she'll find it weird that I came to class early. It would suck for that to be the trigger of what caused her to lose all memories of me, though. I'm gonna go wander around the school till the classroom starts filling up then. This place sure is a ghost town at this hour. Guess it's more common to show up right before the bell than I thought. I just never knew because I'd always be the last to arrive. It's kind of overwhelming to think this will be the last time I ever gave out the scenery from here on the rooftop. When I came up here on this other world, there wasn't much of any scenery to speak of. A barren landscape utterly devoid of life and color, nothing but dirt and rubble as far as the eye could see. Not to mention there was a whole beta hive left mostly intact beneath the surface. Who knows, maybe the beta that ambushed us during the exercise came down from there. I thought about that, actually. No point in speculating it now. There's nothing I could do for that world anymore. The bigger problem is figuring out how I'm going to live on this one. Everyone I'm going to meet is going to forget about me after a certain amount of time. The problem is that I can't hold a job. I'd only be able to do temporary stuff. I don't want to interact with my employer. It must be nice to get away with eating all the free samples at the grocery store since they won't recognize me when I'm coming back. That won't work. They won't know my name. They'll still recognize me, some weird homeless guy. Maybe there's still a chance that once I've completely merged with the other me, the world will set itself straight. I'd like to believe that at least, because if it is, I'll be able to come home. Even if that by that point, Sumika's already married to some other guy. Oh god, I'd have a terrible time accepting that. If it ever came to that, I don't know what I'd... Huh? Hey, there she is. I'd recognize that ribbon anywhere. It's only 8:10. She'd actually be pretty punctual if it wasn't for me. Man, she did keep me afloat, huh? I remember a long time ago class rep said something about me holding her back. I think she was right. I'm so sorry for everything. Can't start crying. It's too early. This could be the last time I see her, so we're gonna greet her with a smile. Though after what happened yesterday, it's gonna be embarrassing. I'm sure I must have kissed her at least a few times in the original timeline, but several years ago, I'm almost as nervous as first deployment now. Oh, there she is. It's 12 o'clock. My heart's pounding like crazy. Hard to believe that only yesterday I was blowing my eyes out over Marimo and everyone forgetting about me. I'm a real scumbag. Uh-oh, she's gonna be upset I left without her. Hey there. Oh, come on, don't give me that awkward silence. You're making me super anxious. Morning. Oh. Hold on, gotta drink some water, gotta get prepared for this one. I mean, you had to have guessed that it was gonna happen. Good morning, Shirogane. Huh? Shirogane? You don't look so good. Try to cheer up, that's what Sensei would have wanted. See you in class. You're kidding me. This can't be. She called me by my last name? She forgot? She lost all memories of me? No, she called me by my name, so she knows who I am, but why would she address me like any other classmate? Is she mad at me for not walking to school with her? It must be her memories, they're fading away. How? She said she'd never forget me no matter... Wouldn't it mean that she's in the alternative timeline then? Because if there was no reference, the hypothesis was that... The hypothesis going was that the reason why she couldn't forget him was because there was no reference data in the alternative timeline. But if there's reference data, then that means that she's alive in the alternative timeline. I'm onto something. I'm a mad lad. She promised me. Did she forget all about what happened yesterday overnight? I held her, I kissed her, and she clumsily asked for another all of it? Sumika. Remember yesterday when we...
白金くん、大丈夫？
Are you okay, Shirogane?
さらに思い出そうと必死になった相手の意識は最終的に白金健という存在そのものに関する根源情報にたどり着いた。
Aye.
白金くん、センサーは因果の結果から遡り、相手の脳による白金健に関する全ての記憶情報を芋づる式に関連づけて根こそぎ送り出してしまったのよ。
I'm fine. I just forgot what I was gonna say.
そう。じゃあね。
We'll see you around. There's nothing I could do.
逆サイ逆サイ、こっちにバスだって。
I'm open. Pass it to me.
マーク外せ。
Shake off your defender.
マーク戻れ戻れ、カウンター来るぞ。
Everyone fall back. They're coming at us.
白金
Shirogane, stop them.
おい走れって。
Get in gear. Halftime. It's hopeless. I was so convinced Sumiko would remember me. Even if nobody else could. Sensei's hypothesis was wrong. Just before I leave, just before Sumiko and the others could even forget about me, as soon as PE class gets out, I'll head home and pack up, so I'm skipping town. Shirogane.
お前ならさっきの止められたろ。もっと気合い入れろ
You
よ。
could have stopped that last one, maybe put in a little bit more effort. Don't.
なんだよお前。仕方
What's
こい
your
てんじゃ
problem,
ね
dude? Don't ignore me.
おいおい、お前ら何やってんだよ。
Well, what do you guys think you're doing? Just knock it off.
え。お前もさっきの見ただろ。
You saw that player there. He's not
全然やる
trying.
気ねえんだよ。
Sorry, my head's not in the game today. Don't come near me. If you talk to me, you'll...
おいタケル、なんだよそれ。
Come on, Tucker. What's going on with you? I'm just getting in the way. Let someone else sub in for me for the second half.
タケル、お前な、気持ちはわかるけどさ。
Tucker, I know how you feel, but
なんだお前。てめえだけ悲しいつもりかよ。
what's your problem? You think you're the only one in pain? No, that's not it at all. Anything could happen at this point. Anyone could get hurt, even you guys. Just stop talking to
お
me.
前、その態度はあんまりなんじゃねえか。みんなだってマリモちゃんのことは。
But dude, don't you think the attitude's a little much? We're all broken up about Marimo, too. Could you just leave me alone?
お前、いい加減にしろよ。
Cut it out already.
やめとけよ。俺、
Just let it go.
なんでこいつ
I know why he's all
こん
bent
なに
out of shape.
なん
What do you mean?
こいつ、事件の前の日、スカテンでマリモちゃんと飯食ってたらしい。
This guy was the one who went out to eat with Marimo at Sky Temple before it happened. This is hopeless. I just pretend to be sick. I'll just bail from there.
タケル、それっ
Is
て
that true? So what if it
部
is?
の後輩に聞いたんだよ。そいつ柊町のスカテンで
A buddy of mine told me. He works there. What does it matter if I ate out with her? You guys trying to say I killed her too? You done yet? Leave me alone.
タケル、さっきからお前な。
What's with you today?
お前、その日マリモちゃん見て泣いてた
You
よ。
broke down and cried when you saw her that one day. And your point is?
本当は何か知ってるんじゃねえ
There's something you're not telling us, isn't there?
おいやめろよ。さすがにそれは言い過ぎだ。
Come on, dude. Now you're taking it too
お
far.
前とマリモちゃんとストーカーって三角関係だったんじゃねえ
What,
の
you and that
か。
stalker had some kind of love triangle going on?
お前もいい加減にし
Dude,
ろよ。
knock it off.
それが原因で
He's about to go
マリモちゃん
postal.
は殺されたんじゃねえの
That's
か。
what got her killed, isn't it?
おい、
Don't tell me you're broken up about Marimo's death when you're spouting nonsense like that. What, you got a problem? Don't you dare talk bad about
て
Marimo.
めえが殺したくせに偉そうなこと言ってんじゃ
Like
ね
you
え
have
よ。
any right to stand up for her. You got her killed. I suggest you shut your mouth before I do it for you.
なんだとこの野郎。俺がマリモちゃんの
What, do you want to
敵取って
go? I'll pay you back for what you did to her then.
やめろ。
Stop
二人とも
What's going on over there?
お前ら後で体育教会室に来い。ほら、ご飯
I want all of you in my office after class.
俺もですか。
Why me?
べこべ言うな。ほら、ご飯始まるぞ。
Don't you give me any lip. Out on the field now.
白金。
Sure, Granny, we'll settle this later. You better not chicken out. Yeah, maybe if you remember me long enough. It's for the best. Everyone just stay away from me. That's the only way to guarantee nothing bad happens to you. And make sure you don't forget me any more than you already have. What
なんだ今の音。体育館の方だぜ。
the hell was that?
体育館？女子がバレーボールやってるはずだろ。
But that didn't sound like they broke something, bro. That sounded like an explosion.
答えねえだろ。
Oh my god.
なんか悲鳴聞こえたろ。
Huh?
なんかやばそうだぜ。
What's going on? People are screaming and crying?
なんかやべえよ。行ってみよう
That
ぜ。
sounds bad. Let's see what happened. What?
あ、こら。お 前ら勝手に行くな。
Get back here. I haven't dismissed you. What? It can't be.
ダメだ、入っちゃいかん。お前ら教室に戻
No,
れ。
you can't go here. All of you back to your classrooms.
いいから、ほら、早く外に出なさい。
Get out of here now.
救急隊が来るから入り口を開けておきます。ほら、お前ら邪魔だ。教室に戻れ。
We need to keep the entrance clear for the paramedics. Huh?
救急車はまだですか。
Where's the ambulance? Ambulance? What do they need an ambulance for?
早く教室に戻れ。
Back to your classes. Is everyone okay? Is Sumiko okay?
何が起きたんだよ。
What happened?
天井から吊ってあったバスケのゴールが落ちたらしい。
One of the basketball hoops fell from the ceiling. A basketball hoop from the ceiling? The girls are playing basketball. Or
おめえ何言ってんだ。鏡が下敷きになってんだぞ。
Kagami's trapped under. Kagami's trapped.
シャレになってねえんだよ。
Limbs aren't supposed to bend that way. That hair. That ribbon. That's...
タケル。
Stop. Make it stop. Haven't you taken enough from me already?
おいこら。落ち着け白金。おい。
You there. Get a grip. Knock it off.
入っちゃいかん。やめ
You
ろ。
can't go in there. Stop it. Someone, just let it end. Don't take this away from me. I know I should have died back then. If I would have died, then none of this would have happened.
どこに行くの？
Where do you think you're going, Yuko?
どこに行くのかって
Where do you
聞いてい
think
る
you're going?
答えなさい。
Leave me alone. It's none of your
関
business.
係あるわよ。ここまで首を突っ込んで
It's most certainly is my business. I'm in much duty to back out now.
まさかとは思うけど。
You're not planning to jump off the roof, are you?
勢いでそんなことをするなんて何の意味もない。
That sort of rash behavior isn't going to solve anything. Calm down.
それにやるにしてもここではよしなさい。
Besides, if you're going to do it, don't do it here. You're going to make everything worse. Let me die. Just let me die. This is my fault for being alive. If I weren't here, none of this would have happened.
確かにそうね。でもあんた、もともとこの世界にいた
I can't deny that, but would it really be fair to take this world Shirogane along with you?
いい迷惑よね。勝手に精神乗っ取られて、いろんなもの奪われて、その挙句に自殺に付き合わされるなん
I
て。
can't imagine how he feels. He had his mind taken over and had everything taken away from him, and now to top it all off, you're going to force him to commit suicide.
あんたの半分はこの世界の白金。マリモから預かった私の教え子
The
なの。
body is his just as much as it is yours, and he's one of my students that trusts me by Marimo. Don't you think you can kill him off without my permission? But if I keep living like this, it'll happen to everyone I know. It won't just be her. It'll happen to class rep, Mei, Tama, Ayamine, Makoto.
あんたはわけのわからない力に翻弄されて勝手にいろんなものを奪われたことが辛くて悲しかったんじゃない
Remember how helpless and broken you felt when you had your entire life stolen away from some incomprehensible
も
force?
ともとこの世界にいた白金にとってはあんたがそのわけのわからない力そのものだったってこと
The only context clue we have is that limbs aren't supposed to bend that way. I'm pretty sure she is absolutely gone. Well, to the Shirogane of this world, that incomprehensible force is you.
それに前も言ったけどマリモと鏡にとってはあんたがベータとかいう敵そのものってこと
I told you this before, but as far as Marimo and Kagami are concerned, you're just as fearsome an enemy as the beta. Stop. You told me she was going to be okay. You said she was going to be fine, didn't you? Why aren't you saying anything? You warned me. Why? Tell me why you warned me this might happen. Tell me it's not your fault. I'm ready. Go ahead. Tell me I should have listened to you. That I only have myself to blame. You're the only one I could ask. Just erase my existence.
おい貴様何やってんだ。
What do you think you're doing?
おい何やってるんだ。
Get her away from her. Stop it. Let go of
いい
me.
加減にしろ。こんな時に面倒を増やすな。
Knock it off, kid. Now's not the time for this. This has nothing to do with you. Leave us alone. Stay out of this.
先生方、こいつを抑えるのを手
Are
伝
there
っ
any
てくだ
teachers
さい。
around? Help us get this kid under control. What's going on?
とにかくこいつを抑えてくださ
We
い。
need to restrain him.
はい。
Stop.
ほらやめるんだ。暴れるんじゃない。
Knock it off. How's this kid so strong? What do you think you're doing? Let go of me.
落ち着け。落ち着きなさい。
Get a hold of yourself.
先生方
That's enough, all of you.
光月先生。
この子は 3B
He's in class 3B, one of Jinguji's students.
神宮寺じゃあさっき
So he knew the girl in the accident?
そうですこの子は
Correct, her name is
事
Kagami.
故に遭った
His
鏡
childhood friend. Erase me.
光月先生、鏡には諸岡先生が付き添っています。病院に着き次第連絡が入る段取り
Kozuki,
です。
Maruka went into the ambulance with Kagami. He'll contact you as soon as possible.
わかりました
Thank you for letting me know.
事故に関しての緊急職員会議がありますの
We're
で
having an emergency staff meeting about the accidents of Will Nature in conference room A. I'm begging you, just erase me.
先生急いでください
すぐ
I'll be right there then. I can't.
白金分かったわ。あんたを消して
Alright, I'll erase you if that's what you want.
職員会議終わるまで校門で待ってな
I'll
さい。
meet you at the main gates, got it?
必ず消してあげるから。この世界の白金を巻き添えにするんじ
I
ゃない。
promise I'll erase you, so don't you dare take out this one, this world Shirogane.
返事
I'm waiting. Okay, I understand. If only I'd done this sooner. If only I could have let you go. If only I hadn't hesitated. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Sumika, I'm so sorry. There's nothing left for me here anymore. I should have begged her to erase me a long time ago. I was thrust into that other world for no good reason and forced to watch as mankind was driven to the brink of extinction. Then I had to start all over again. I tried to change history and save humanity, but in the end I ran away like a coward.
もう一度確認するけど、
何を言われたって俺は帰ります。
前も説明したけど、この装置であんたを送り込めるのはあんたが干渉した世界よ。
はい。
あんたがよく言っている元の世界から分岐した別の世界だけど、
はい。
Why didn't I realize it sooner? I'm taking this body for a joyride. It doesn't even belong to me. As far as this world's concerned, I'm just a pest that doesn't belong here. I'm no better than the beta.
それ以前に自分で消しちゃうことも
Taku was the virus, the beta was the cure. You were right, Sensei. That's exactly what happened. I wanted so badly for you to be wrong, but you had it right. I'm erasing myself from existence. What's taking her so long? Watch her forget him. This is a real pain train. I'd really like to get this over with before anything happens to anyone. There she is. My time is up.
待たせたわね。乗りなさい。
Alright, let's hear it. Sorry about the wait. Hop in.
後にしましょう。
Say your piece later. Get in the car.
どこに行くのか。
Don't you want to know where we're going? I don't really care as long as you erase me.
今から鏡
We're going to Kagami's house. What? Why?
あんたを消す前に副担任としての仕事をしなきゃね。
That's what I'm thinking too. I've said it from the start just because of a really offhanded extra quote that happened. And there's a few things that go ahead and make me assume that. In Muv-Luv Extra, there's a lot of people call her like the villain of the school. And if the alternative timeline is just amplified, then I guess she would still be the technical villain. That's my first reasoning. Okay. Second off, the reason as to why she has the beta base to begin with is just kind of mad sus. And then third off, before the beta attacked in the XM3 arc, she said, he was like, oh yeah, the afternoon trial is going to be super easy. And she says, well, you never know what life will throw your way. Those three things make me think that she's mad sus, you guys. You know her parents out of town, right? Mr. and Miss Kagami, I'm so sorry.
鏡の両親は今、三剣の手配したチャーター機で日本に向かっている。
They're on their way back to Japan as we speak on a charter flight arranged by Mitsurugi. Maya.
諸岡先生から連絡があってね。それまでに
Shadow has laughed at our theory.
両親の番組に届ける。
That's all he's gonna leave though. But that's okay. I don't want to know whether I'm right or if I'm wrong. If I'm looking too much into it, then that's fine. But if I'm on the money, then maybe I don't know, maybe I'm goated. Maruka told me over the phone, since they won't be back for another several hours, I need to drop off some of her things. But why? Because Kagami's alive.
姉のいる病院に運ばれたの。三剣の医療スタッフが
She's been taken to the hospital my sister works at. Apparently several members of the Mitsurugi medical team have been flown in too.
とにかく鏡は
The point is she's alive. Thank goodness. Thank God.
ちょうど鉄骨と鉄骨の隙間に頭や体が入って奇跡とも言える
Her head and her vital organs were just narrowly wedged between two steel bars. They're calling it a miracle. Thank
あ
God.
と数センチでもずれていたら即死だった
She's gonna be brain dead, because that's what has been referenced in Muv-Luv Extra. Every single time that he hits her or they get into a fight, she always says, you know, I'm gonna be brain dead one day because of you. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. They say she would have died instantly if it had only been a few centimeters off. What's the catch? Nothing. We're here.
光月教諭お待ちいたしておりました
Kazuki, I've been awaiting your arrival. I've left the front door unlocked. Thanks for taking care of it. My pleasure. Tsukiyomi, I can't talk to her either. Ready to get inside?
白がいいわあなたは
Yeah,
そこに
wait
いな
right
さい
there. now pointing me going upstairs, not like I'd find Sumika in a room. I've got no right to go in there. She's alive, but she's been horribly injured. What I really want to do is dash over to the hospital and be near her, but I can't risk her hurting her any more than I have. I can't do that. Besides, the others are probably at the hospital right now too. Sumika, come here for a second, Shirogane. Just get in here. What? What the hell? Why are there books scattered all over the floor? What was she doing? When I looked down here this morning, she was staring at the floor. What was she staring at? You know what these are, don't you? Huh? Diaries?
タケルちゃんがプレゼントくれなかった。約束忘れちゃったのかな。サンタさん、やっぱり来ないんだ。ケーキ食べた。いちごのショートケーキ、美味しかったよ。外に出ると雪が降ってた。約束した日と同じだった。積もったら明日は雪合戦する約束したよ。けどタケルちゃんと2人だとボコボコ。明日すっごく良くない気がする。ボコボコだ。手加減してくれるよね。してくれなさそうだよ。とほほ。
Sumika's diaries, huh? Can't believe she's been writing them since we were so little. God, this takes me back. I barely even remember this stuff.
今日は私の誕生日。タケルちゃんよりちょっぴりお姉さんなんだ。ろうそくの火消そうとしたら後ろそのままケーキにめり込んだよ。違うって言ってたけど、あれ絶対にタケルちゃんがやった。
Yeah, her birthday is legit a day before mine.
ひどいよ。
Isn't Daniel's birthday?
悲しかったよ。ひどいよ。なのにタケルちゃん笑ってるんだもん。でもちゃんとごめんって言ってくれた。やっぱタケルちゃんだね。
I apologize because you were crying like a baby. And totally sunny? That can't be right. It rains every year on Tanabata. This is what Extra opened with, is this one.
すごく高そうでどうしたらいいのかわからなかった。そしたらタケルちゃんが来て助けてくれると思ったのに、先生に言いふらして。担任の先生優しいから大丈夫って言ってたけど、私のお小遣いじゃ足りないよ。カタツムリでごまかそうとしたけど無理だよ。違う先生が来てすっごく怖かった。タケルちゃん生まれ変わったとか脱皮したとか言って
500 IQ.
先生を怒らせてた。けど最後に自分がやったってありがとうタケルちゃん。すっごく嬉しかったよ。それとごめん。どっか別のとこに連れて行かれちゃったけど平気だったのかな。帰り道で聞いても教えてくれないんだもん。本当に嬉しかったんだよ。
I remember that. Just so you know, I was dead serious about the whole snail shedding its shell thing. I thought I was a genius for coming up with that, and you were right to be worried when that teacher took me away. I got the snot beaten out of me. Teacher had a reputation for hurting kids, huh? Can't imagine someone doing that nowadays.
もうすぐ卒業だね。先生が将来の夢とかそんな話をしてた。タケルちゃんに聞いたらお金持ちとか総理大臣とかなんかめちゃくちゃ言ってたよね。それ本気なのかな。私にはオグラグッティメンになれと言ってたし無理だよ。人間だもん。夢ってなんだろう。私の夢やっぱタケルちゃんと一緒かな。それで決まり。
That's not an occupation, you dork. Was that really her dream? To me, a dream It's your deepest desire. Something you wish for so badly that the word wish doesn't even begin to describe it. Is that what it meant to you too?
私たち今日から中学生だ。やったね、たけるちゃんと同じクラス。これからは制服着て毎日一緒だね。たけるちゃんってばうぜーとか言ってたけど、私がいないと朝起きれないじゃん。今日だってそうだった。もう中学生なんだからちゃんとしないと。けど私が起こしてあげるから起きなくていいよ。毎日一緒に行くんだから覚悟しとけ。
Who would have thought we'd end up doing that all through high school? Not sure I was prepared for that, huh?
ひどいよひどいよひどいよ、たけるちゃん。もうなんかムカつくよ。髪の毛切るの失敗したからってこけしとか言わないで。あだ名になったら呪ってやるんだから。それに雨が降ってたせいで全然決まらなかったし。こんなつもりじゃなかったのにな。今度は可愛いって言わせてやる。っていうか言え。
I will. And I'll say it as many times as you want now. So please just...
どうしようどうしよう。大変だ大変だ。事件だよ。たけるちゃんってば悪霊ヒイラギ目指すとか言った。来年度は私たちも3年だから卒業式の帰りにちょっと聞いてみたらこれだよ。ひどいよ。私の成績じゃ。たけるちゃんだって今のままじゃ無理だけど。きっとたけるちゃんは平気なんだ。どうしようどうしよう。勉強するしかないよ。死ぬ気で勉強してやるんだから。もうなんか日記なんて書いてる場合じゃないって。寝る。
And yet you kept on writing. You're always so proud of these diaries. They were the only things that you never share with me no matter how many times I asked. And you never missed a single day. I could never do something like that.
やったやったよ。悪霊ヒイラギ合格だよ。どうだ見たか。最初怖くて全然番号見れなかった。たけるちゃんがスミカ落ちてるとか言うからすっごくびっくりしたよ。あの嘘はひどいよ。心臓止まったよ。本気でマジでしょんぼりしちゃったんだから。たけるちゃんってば私のこと裏口入学呼ばわりまでしてさ。せっかくの喜びが台無しだよ。一緒にいっぱい勉強したから知ってるじゃん。けどこれでまた3年間一緒だね。ざまあみろ。本当に嬉しい。今日は寝れないかも。
That's right. We really did study. I was just kidding about Hakurio being my first choice. But you made such a fuss about it that our parents got involved. I definitely wouldn't have gotten in if it hadn't been for you. It wasn't even all that long ago when you think about it.
たけるちゃん最低だよ。エッチな本読んでもう捨てようとするとめちゃくちゃムキになって取り返そうとするんだもん。なんか情けなくなってきたよ。せめてちゃんとベッドの下にしまっとけ。けどあんなの見てんだね。私はけどたけるちゃんの部屋久しぶりだったな。なんかちょっと前と違った感じがした。何が違ったのかな。エッチな本だ。
You wrote a whole rant about that?
夏だ暑いぞムールだ。たけるちゃんってば けるちゃんに
And this is what Extra ends with.
私たちが幼なじみじゃなかったらどうだったかな。たけるちゃんも言ってたけど、そばにいないのは考えられないよね。私たちずーっと一緒だったんだから。だからこれからもずーっとどこか行くならたけるちゃんとだよね。明日だって明後日だって来週だって、それから来年もこれからも私とたけるちゃんはずーっと一緒だよ。
It was supposed to be.
最後の文化祭
Because that one plays at the start of Extra.
けど楽しかったからいいや。たけるちゃんと店番してる時は大変だったけど、もうめちゃくちゃだよ。
Oh my god. Nothing. Never mind. Hold on. What do I mean, oh my god? Look at the drawing and it should become pretty apparent.
たこ焼きにタコ丸ごと一匹入れるなんてさ、買いに来た人逃げちゃったじゃん。たけるちゃんのせいだからね。そのせいできっと光月先生のクラスに負けたんだ。最後のフォークダンスはちゃんとたけるちゃんと踊れてよかったよ。
I most likely am. I saw a certain tag in this game. And, anyways, let's continue.
ギリギリで間に合わないかと思っちゃった。また思い出一つ増えたね。
All these books strewn across the floor are her old
あの子の
diaries.
日記でしょ。すごい量ね。
They're her diaries, aren't they? She's got quite a few.
鏡に関しての私の仮説が間違っていた理由がこれよ。
This is why my hypothesis didn't apply to Kagami.
鏡はきっと自分の様子がおかしいことに気づいていたんだと思う。
Because as far as I could tell, Kagami must have realized that something strange was happening to her.
白金のことばっかり。
All she ever wrote about was you. I know.
毎日毎日読み返して必死に記憶を保管していたんでしょうね。
Chances are she was rereading them every day in a desperate attempt to fill in gaps in her memory.
辛かったんでしょうね。自分が忘れてはならないものを忘れていることに気づいてしまったんだ
It
けど。
must have been tearing her apart. I can't imagine being aware that you're forgetting something so precious while being completely powerless at the same time to stop it. So then you think the only reason she didn't forget me sooner was because she'd been reading these?
そう。
I do.
俺の話を信じてくれるならもう俺に近づくな。
どうしてよ。
俺と話をしていると俺のことを忘れてしまうんだ。
そういうことだったんだ。だから
あんなこと
そんなのどうでもいいよ。
なんだよそれ。
So this is what she meant. You were trying so hard.
たけるちゃんと
Oh yes, the first scene of Extra.
起こすときに胸触られたよ。何するか許さないけど、たけるちゃんだから明日からが楽しみだね。たけるちゃんのお母さんにバッチリ家の鍵も預かったし、自由の身だって油断しまくりなたけるちゃんをびっくりさせてやるんだから。ふっ覚えとけ。けどたけるちゃんも惨めな人生を送ってる。松茸食べたことないなんてすっごくかわいそう。負け惜しみにしめじとか言ってるんだから、晩ご飯作りに行ってあげよう。明日からすっごく楽しみだ。覚悟しとけ。 ら知らない女の子と寝てるし、学校行ったらその子が来るし、
Maya, for those of you guys that missed the extra part,
タケルちゃんも呼んじゃってるし、私とそなたの距離に近すぎることはなかろうとか言ってるし、タケルちゃんの家に帰っていくし、やることなすこと全部むちゃくちゃだ。これ何？なんかウサギのサンタさんのこと猫だとか犬だとか言って最低だよ。あの約束もうそんなことないよね。私とタケルちゃんどうな何書いてんだろう。料理対決だ。あ、絶対運命という固い絆で結ばれているとか言ってたけど、私なんてタケルちゃんとずっと一緒だったんだから。よーし、明日のためにもう寝る。
you went to sleep that night? I thought you totally stayed up all night preparing.
あんたたちって
This is the first time Yuko's actually had emotion in her
ず
voice.
っと一緒だったの
You
ね。
two really have spent your whole lives together, haven't you?
いきなり強盗が押しかけてきたら危ないよ。突然倒れたら助けてもらえないよ。隕石落ちてきたらすぐに逃げられない。だからやっぱ鍵はかけないよ。うん、決定。タケルちゃんに見られた。トイレだよ。先生がしてた進路の話忘れちゃうところだったじゃん。あと数ヶ月で卒業なんだよね。そしたらタケルちゃんと一緒に白陵大に行くんだ。一緒なのは変わらないよね。
Lock the freaking door.
キャベツと肉そぼろのコンソメスープはひどい。ロールキャベツなんだから。これくらいしか私にできること。なんか暗いぞ。けどタケルちゃんが言ってくれたもんね。うまかったぞってさ。すっごい照れた声だった。これでいいんだ。
I bumped into Sumiko that day, though I couldn't stick around long enough to eat any of her cooking, so I did compliment her then. I'm glad I told her I enjoyed it. I almost never complimented her on her cooking because I was too embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I really hope she keeps cooking, you know? She has talent.
それは
It might be, huh?
なんでもないわ。
Never mind.
タケルちゃんと怪しい会話をし
So I had a super weird conversation.
寝不足でいきなり帰っちゃうから。
No, never mind. I don't need to voice act this.
朝から変だったもんね。夜も大事そうに紙の束抱えてたし。怪しいだからもちろん書いたよ。でもタケルちゃんの変な理由がテスト勉強なのかゲームのやりすぎなのか。それは問題だね。タケルちゃんがいきなり泣き始めた。神宮寺先生の顔見ていきなりびっくりした。タケルちゃんの顔が本気だった。何があったんだろう。どうして泣いてたんだろう。朝からタケルちゃんは様子が変だった。わかんないけど私もつらい。タケルちゃん元気出して。神宮寺先生が家に帰ってからお風呂で泣いた。なんであんな優しくていい人がひどい。なんで好きな人を殺したりできるの。どうしようもなく悲しい。もう神様なんて信じられない。昨日まで笑顔で話してたのに。もうでも落ち込んでる場合じゃないよ。タケルちゃんおかしくなっちゃったりしないかな。どうしよう。私にできること ダメだ、頭が混乱してる。なんか最近忘れっぽい。ショックのせいかもしれない。日記を見ると書いてあるから、私が忘れてるんだ。タケルちゃんの言ったこと忘れるなんて、私変。神宮寺先生がいない学園に行くのは辛い。だけど私が落ち込んだら、タケルでも多分寝るときに諸岡先生と
I'm gonna go get some water. Give me just a quick, like, 30 seconds.
に決まりました。
Sorry about that, and sorry for the random jump in the heart rate monitor. Me sprinting across the house to go get some water. Yep, we're gonna
公式
continue.
先生は強いと思います。親友の神宮寺先生があんなことになったのに、とても強いと思います。その強さをほんの少しでも欲しいです。そしたらタケルちゃんを元気づけてあげられるから。先生が私にタケルちゃんにあまり近づくなって言いました。きっとそっとしておこうってことだと思いました。でもその通りだと思ったけど、お出かけの約束をしました。私はタケルちゃんを元気づけてあげたいです。そのためなら何でもできます。頑張れます。明日はタケルちゃんの誕生日なのに、こんなに悲しいのはかわいそうすぎます。お出かけまでにプレゼント買ってこなくちゃ。少しでも元気になってほしいから。頑張れタケルちゃん、ファイトだ。夜のお出かけのためにおめかししようと思って買い物に行ったらタケル、そしたら私を避けようとしたので悲しかった。だから理由が知りたくて、タケルちゃんは嫌がったけど無理に教えてもらった。それはおとぎ話のような。でも私は全部信じます。タケルちゃんの冗談や嘘は全部。みんながタケルちゃんとの思い出を忘れちゃっても、みんながタケルちゃんのことを忘れちゃっても、世界中のみんながタケルちゃんのことわからなくなっても、私は忘れないよ。私だけは絶対にタケルちゃんを忘れない。忘れるもんか。忘れないんだよ。絶対にタケルちゃんと約束したんだから。だから忘れないんだよ。忘れたくないんだよ。私がタケルちゃんを一人ぼっちにはさせないんだから。いつまでもずーっと私はタケルちゃんと一緒だよ。一緒にいるんだからね。最後にすごいことがありました。私の願いが一つ叶いました。タケルちゃんとキスをしちゃいました。今までで一番幸せでした。これだけは絶対に忘れません。やっと夢が叶ったんだから、絶対忘れません。
This is making me feel
私
pain.
タケルちゃんは隣の家に住む人です。私の 読めば絶対思い出せるから頑張れ。思い出すまで日記を読め。大丈夫だから落ち着いて思い出そう。たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん。
This chair.
たけるちゃん、
This chair.
たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、
This
たける
chair.
ちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん、たけるちゃん。
そういうことだった
So
のね。
that's what happened, huh? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I can't do it
あれ
anymore.
ほど言ったのに。
Way to ignore my warning. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I knew. Talking to her back then.
違うわ。あんたじゃない。
No, I'm not talking about you.
そこまであんたのこと。
This just goes to show how much she cares about you.
鏡はいい子ね。
Kagami's a real sweetheart. She is. I keep flipping through the pages and it's all the same sort of thing. All she ever wrote about in her diaries every day was me and her. Every last page, it's something to do with both of us. I love her.
でしょう
I'm
ね。
not surprised. I just want her to live. I thought that maybe it would be nice if she could remember me at least. So my plan was to go to school for one last day, say goodbyes, and skip town. But I don't care anymore. If she's still alive, I don't care. I really am. I'm the same as the beta. I'm a curse. I'm a plague. Please deliver her things to the hospital so we can get this over with. I've already made up my mind on this. If you're gonna erase me, I don't want to waste any time. Let's do it ASAP, before anyone else gets hurt.
あんたの存在を消すってこと。月並みだけど、死ぬより
Not to rain on your parade, but being wiped from existence is a fate worse than death. I've lived through plenty of things worse than death already.
そう。届け物。さっさ
So
と
let's go
済ま
drop
せ
these
ましょう。
things off then.
言っておくけど、病院
And
で
when we're
は
on the same page when we get to the hospital, I'm waiting in the car.
そうしてくれると
That's
助
for
か
the
る
best
わ。
then, I think.
お待たせ。
I'm back. That was fast.
諸岡先生がついていらっしゃるから
Yeah, well,
ね。
Maruka's with her taking care of things. It's only been 20 minutes. Yeah, it's a little speedy regardless. I know, she must be trying to erase me as soon as possible. After all, she could be hit by some random casualty. Meteor hits the car. Did you see her? How was she?
面会謝絶よ。まあ、6時間以上の大手術の後だか
They
ら
weren't allowing
麻
visitors,
酔で
but
眠っているは
given
ず
the
ね。
surgery lasted 6 hours, she's still out. Over 6 hours of surgery. I'm so sorry. Thank you for always keeping me in your thoughts. I had no idea how hard you were trying to remember me. I'm so sorry. Goodbye, Sumika. I wish I could tell you in person, but hopefully one day you'll forgive me.
じゃあ、行きましょう
Alright
か。
then, let's get you erased then. Let's. Can I ask you something?
何？
How are you gonna separate me from the me that was originally here? Can you really just erase me?
怖くない。
Getting cold feet now? No, it's not that. I was just worried about the other me. I know it's a little too late to be concerned, but I do want to know if the original me will still be in one piece. I'm not scared of disappearing myself. I know it's a selfish thing for me to wish for, but I'd really like it if this world's me could be there for Sumika.
じゃあ、あんたが消える前に、
In that case, I'll explain one last thing before you go.
こっちの世界と向こうの世界は、同じ世界から枝分かれした非常に近い世界だと考えられる。
This is going to be a long drive. We could assume that this world and the other are merely branches of the same root world, which makes them extremely close.
だからこそ、因果のやり取りができるはずなのよ。
That's what's going to allow the exchange of casualties.
そうね。その時にも言ったけど、二つの世界はあんたを起点に。
And I also said that the two words are trying to attain equal levels of casualty.
ただ、現段階ではっきりしているのは、向こうの世界の因果がこちらに流れ込んできてい
But the
る。
only thing we know for sure right now is that the events are flowing from the other world into
こ
ours.
っちの世界から吸い出された白金武に関する因果情報が向こうの世界に流れている。
As a result of which, we can't even be sure if the Shirogane-related casualty information here being sucked out of this world is even ending up in your other one. And since I can't go back, I'll never find out. But if everyone's memories aren't being sent to the other world, where else could they be?
そうね。おそらく受け取り手がいないから虚数空間を漂うことにな
Good
る。
question. If I had to guess, I'd assume that without any suitable recipients, they'd float around the multiverse for eternity. it was a lost cause. Not like finding out was going to accomplish anything. Guess I'm having trouble letting go.
あんたが逃げ帰ってくる前に何度か行き来している時、向こうの世界の知り合い
Before you ran back here, when you were only visiting, did anything weird happen to your friends in the other world? No, nothing, not as long as I could tell.
だとすると、因果の重さは創造や誕生に関する事象よりも破壊や死に関する事象の方が重い。
I really like the 3D immersion, by the way. I could hear in the left earpiece as opposed to the right, because, you know, driver's side in Japan is on the left side. I like that. In that case, phenomena related to the birth and creation must be lighter in terms of casualty than phenomena related to death and destruction. Casualties have weight?
重いとか軽いとかいう表現は分かりやすく説明するための比喩だから深く考えない。
I'm using the terms light and heavy as metaphors, so don't get hung up.
じゃあその前提で考えると、
Given that
こ
assumption,
っちの世界にとってあんたは向こうの世界の底に取り付けられたパイプの先端にある壊れた蛇口
from this world's perspective, you're a broken faucet at the end of a pipe connected to the bottom of the other world. A broken faucet?
そう開け閉めする方法がわからない
A faucet doesn't know how to open or close.
誰にもわからないきっかけで向こうの世界の底に溜まった重い
So at random intervals, you spit out heavy events from the bottom of the other world into this one without warning. So a broken faucet.
そしてこっちの世界からあんたが吸い出すのはあんたとの記憶という軽い因果
And what you suck out of this world are light casualties, such as the other people's memories of
こ
you.
っちの世界の天井に取り付けられた換気口みたいなものかしらそれには白金関連の記憶だけを認識する
So we could say you're almost like a vent in this world's ceiling. You have a sensor attached to you that detects Shirogane-related memories.
その影響が出る条件は何だ
Do you remember what gets determined, or what determines who gets affected by this? The amount of direct interaction they have with me, right?
なそういうこと
That sums it up.
その証拠にさっき剣の使用に
And we've seen proof of
あんた
that.
のことを覚え
A
ている
Mitsurugi's maid remembered you. Oh yeah, you got a point. I haven't even interacted with Tsukiyomi.
ということは因果動態の影響を受ける条件はおおむね間違っていない
Which means we're on the right track about what causes people to be influenced by the effects of the casualty conductor.
そう
Sure.
考えるとあんたと接点を多く持っていない人間は全員未だに多くの白金関連の記憶を維持している
So with that in mind, we can assume that those who haven't interacted with you that much should still have most of their Shirogane-related memories.
だ
Okay.
からあんたはもう一つの観測者である他人が持つ白金タケルについての因果情報が消えるまで
Which is why you tried to leave town before that casualty information was sucked away. Yeah, I guess you could say it like that. That you make it sound a lot more admirable.
これ以上忘れられないために親も含め自分を知る全員と距離を置くこと
You decided to keep everyone from forgetting you more by distancing yourself from them. I did, and after what you told me the other day, it seemed like the right thing to do.
今のあんたにしては潔い
Well, it was
決断だ
rational,
もんだわ
especially for someone in your state. But look at what happened. I was too weak to let go, and Sumiko's in the hospital because I stuck around.
それはどうかしら
I'm not sure about that. What?
たとえあんたが昨日のうちにそうしてたとしても鏡に同じこと
Chances are, even if you had left town yesterday, Kagami would have been with the same fate. What?
さっきの影響を受ける条件かなり怪しくなった
Our hypothesis as to what determines who's affected is shaky right now. Didn't you just say we were on the right track a minute ago?
怪しいというより別のことが見えてきたっていうのかしら
Maybe it's less of the hypothesis is shaky, and rather I'm starting to notice another factor, which
向
is...
こうの世界の因果の影響を受ける方が記憶の流出より早いって前に言ったでしょ
Remember how I told you that events in the other world affect people in ours faster than their memories flow out? Okay.
今日の鏡の事故を見て考えたのよ
I had a thought after seeing Kagami's accident, which was...
向こうの世界の因果の影響は記憶の流出が引き金となって発生するのかもしれない
Perhaps events from the other world don't come here until memories have leaked out first, huh?
世界は安定を求めているだから流出した分を何かで補おうとする力が働く
The worlds are constantly seeking equilibrium, so maybe they try to compensate for whatever leaks out of them.
向
Compensate?
こうの世界の魂は生きてた怪我とかはしていないって話よね
Tomase's still alive in the other world, right? She wasn't injured? No, not before I left.
だからこっちの世界の魂は今のところ無
Which
事
is why this world's Tomase is safe for the time being.
でもこの先はわからない向こうの世界で魂が死ねばあんたを経由してきたその因果がこっちの世界の魂をいつ殺すかわから
But we don't know if that'll last. If Tomase dies in the other world, the casualty of her death could pass through you and kill this one. All the more reason to erase me then. I don't want to see anyone else get hurt.
なんとなく分かってきて
So I'm starting to get an idea as to how this works. Huh?
因果動態の影響力つまり記憶の流出量はあんたへの思いの強さに比例するんじゃないかしら
The effects of the casualty conductor in relation to memory loss must be directly proportional to how strong the subject's feelings are for you.
今まではあんたの側の原因ばかり
Up until now, I'd only been considering you potential factors. What do you mean?
マリモ、タマセ、カガミ、その3人は全員自発的に白金に深く関わった直後、因果動態の影響を強く受けた。
Marimo, Tamase, Kagami, all three of these people were harshly affected by the conductor immediately after having deep interactions with you on their own volition. Okay, you're right.
白金に対して愛情や友情、母性本能に類する感情を強く持っている者。
The more a person feels a romantic, platonic, or maternal connection with you, the more they try to interact.
パイプのセンサーがそういう種類の感情を伴う因果に最も強く
So if the
反応す
sensor
る
on the pipeline reacts more strongly towards casualties connected to those kinds of emotions, it would mean it's less about how much time we spend together and more about how they feel.
もちろんあんたが直接接点を持てば多かれ少なかれ誰でもその影響を受けるはずよ。回数の問題も大きくない。
Well, anyone who directly interacts with you will be affected by it sooner or later. That's definitely still a big factor, even if it's less about frequency than previously thought.
だけどその相手とあんたの双方にそれに類する感情があるとより強く因果
However, if there are deeper feelings underneath on either side of the equation, that amplifies the effects of the casualty. Would make sense, right?
三剣も間違いなくあんたに対してその手の感情を持っている。
I don't doubt that Mitsurugi feels those same kinds of emotions for you as well.
向こうの世界の三剣が無事だとはいえあんたから積極的に接点を持たなかったのは正解ね。
This is a long drive, so even though the other Mitsurugi is okay for now, you did the right thing by choosing not to actively interact with her. Maya.
今のあんたは鏡にあれだけ思いを持って
Although considering how strong your feelings for Kagami are, maybe you would have avoided her regardless. So then the fact that I kept my distance from her because I couldn't own up to my feelings actually kept her from being affected by the casualty conductor?
話を戻します。
Back on topic.
今までの話が正しいとしてなぜセンサーがその手の感情に反応
Let's assume we're right. Why does the sensor react to emotions?
それこそが白金が因果動態になってしまった原因を解明する鍵なのよ。
Answering that could be the key to uncovering what made you a casualty conductor in the first place. Well, I mean, even if we do find out why, knowing what caused it doesn't mean you'll be able to do anything. You said so yourself.
そうだったわね。ごめんなさい。つい興奮しちゃったわ。
No, you're right. I just got a little carried away. It's fine. Maybe this explains why Yuka's been totally unaffected by me as a casualty conductor. But there's also the fact that she's alive in the other world, but I'm guessing that she also doesn't feel anything towards me, apart from a sense of duty. I'm just a test subject. Figuring out what caused this change is nothing. The only way to fix it is to get rid of me entirely. There's no point in revisiting this stuff if we're going to arrive at the same conclusion. Instead, we should erase me as soon as possible for the sake of everyone else. Sensei, when can we talk about how you're going to separate me?
そうそう。そうだ。
Oh, I almost forgot.
白金。確かあんた向こうの世界
You said you went back in time in the other world, right? Huh?
向こうの世界からこっちの世界に来た時すでに経験したはずの時間に戻って
And when you came back to this world, you told me that you'd already experienced these events, right? Yeah, that's correct. I've experienced at least 2 concrete cases of time travel.
それはいつ確認のためにもう少し
When were
詳しく
they? Can you go into a bit more detail? October 22nd when I first arrived in that world, and after everything went to hell and I woke up back in my old room again, also October 22nd.
やけにはっきり覚えて
So
る
you remember it clearly. Yeah, dates were important over there. Since we had a deadline on December 24th, I could say with confidence that it was the 22nd.
なるほどね。
Interesting, interesting. Why do you ask?
2つの世界をつなぐ因果動態であるあんたはその得意な事象の焦点であるがゆえに因果率の縛りが弱くなっている可能性が高い。
As a casualty conductor that connects the 2 worlds, you're the focal point of these abnormal phenomena, which means there's a strong possibility you're pushing the bounds of casualty, which means...
原因なくして結果なしというルールがあんたには適用されにくくなっているということ。
It means that where you're concerned, it's becoming harder and harder to say that a cause will have always come before an effect.
あんたの現在は過去だけではなく未来の影響も受ける。
Hadley's theory? I'm gonna have to search that up.
まさに生きたハッドリー仮説ね。
To put it another way, imagine that your present being is not only a product of your past, but of the future. It's like Hadley's theory. I'm a product of my own future. Who's Hadley?
素粒子はタイムマシンでできているっていうすごい仮説があるんだけど、あんたはその上を行って
He posited the radical notion that elementary particles are essentially time machines, but you're even crazier than that. Okay.
向こうの世界で2度目に目覚めた白金が違う過去を覚えていたのはあんただけが時間ループを認識
The fact that you only remembered a different past after the timeline reset means that you're the only one aware of what happened in the time loop.
2度目の向こうの世界で意識的に違う行動を選択することが可能だ。
That's why it was possible for you to consciously choose different courses of action.
それこそが因果動態のもしくは白金を因果動態
That's the unique ability granted to you as a casualty conductor, or whatever made you into one. But I mean, that's also what caused this mess.
So-
Right. Sure, it's cool that I have the chance to do things differently, but that doesn't mean I always get what I want. I know that all too well. In the end, the future I created became too much for me to bear.
でも仮にあんたが因果動体の力をうまく利用できればすでに確定した事象を
But if you learn to hone your abilities, you might be able to alter events after they've happened. What? I could alter things that have happened? Would that mean I could make it so nothing happened to Marimo and Sumika? Really?
あくまで仮の話よ。今すぐそれができる。
It's hypothetical, not like we could just do it here and now. But you never said anything about that possibility before.
とにかく私たちがまずやらなきゃいけないことは一刻も早く向こうの世界の因果の流れを
Anyway, the first order of business is to stop the flow of events from the other world into ours. We're back on topic, and in the end, there's only one way out of this. I'm prepared for that, and I want to know what will happen to me as the other result. And we're going to do this by erasing me from this world, right?
その通り。あんたはこっちの世界に
That's right.
存在してはいけない白金竹。
You're not the Taku who belongs here, so I'm going to get rid of you.
こっちの世界からあんたを消して
I'm going to erase you from this
向こう
world
の世界へ戻す
and
の。
return you to the other one. Did I hear that right? Return me? What the hell? I passed the 24-hour time limit. How's she going to do that? It's not even possible. What do you mean?
戻す。
It is. So I could actually go back?
そうよ。だけど今は黙って私の話を聞きなさい。
That's right, but for now, keep your mouth shut and listen up. Why did she tell me I could go back? Did she just find a way to make it happen?
あんたは向こうの世界に戻ってなすべきことをなした後また戻って
After you've gone to the other world and done what you need to do, you'll have to come back here. Why would I have to do that?
あんたはもともとこの世界の構成要素の一つなの。白金がこっちの世界に戻って
You were originally part of this world before anything else. If you don't come back here, the two worlds will never regain casualty balance.
ただあんたが戻るこっちの世界は今のこっちの
The
世
only
界
catch is when you come back here, it won't be the exact same. Won't be the same? What do you mean?
さっきの愛情云々の話で出た何があんたを因果動体にしてしまった
When we talked about love earlier, we briefly touched upon that theory that love might be what caused you to become a casualty conductor.
その原因を探り当ててうまく利用するか取り除くことで全ての確定した事象つまり結果を変えるの
If we found out what that was and either use it to our advantage or eliminated it, then we could alter the course of fate and change everything that's already happened. We could change all of fate?
本来なら分岐しなければならない確率時空を白金がループしてしまっている原因それを除去すれば
Something is causing you to loop repeatedly through space-time, and that should be rights only by branching out further, which, if we could eliminate that...
あんたのループによって世界にもたらされた影響や結果は全てもたらされなかった
then everything that happened to this world as a result of the loop would be done. You're kidding, right? We could do that?
あんたはすでに向こうの世界でそれに近いことをやろうとしてい
I
た
mean, it's pretty much the same thing you were trying to do in the other timeline.
わかりづらいと思うけどこれが未来の影響を受けるということ
It might be hard to wrap your head around, but this is what I mean when I say you're a product of the future. I'm on a loop within space-time. From my viewpoint, I traveled to the past, but to everyone else, I came from the future. How do you know that it was something in that other timeline that would make me the casualty conductor for this one?
そうねじゃあここで
I'm glad you asked. Okay.
白金が元の世界から向こうの世界に転移して向こうの世界をもう一度経験した双方ともに初日は10月22日だった
First, you traveled over from this original world to the other one. By then, the timeline was reset, and both times that you went, which would be eliminated and alternative, the start date was October 22nd. Right.
そして2週目の今向こうの世界からこっちの世界に来たその時すでに経験したはずの時間座標に転移
And during the second time around, you came from that world to this one. When you did, you came back to a point you'd already experienced, right? Right. Why did she just call it my original world the first time and just this world the second time?
前も説明したけどこの装置であんたを送り
That's exactly why.
あんたはよく
It's already been, yeah. I guess it'd be, yeah, it makes sense to differentiate it.
今おさらいした事象は全て向こうの世界の起点になって
All the incidents that have been occurring recently came originally from the other world. Right.
関わりを持つ2つの世界の一方に原因があるとしたらどちらがより多く事象の主体になっているかを見ればいい
If the cause of this whole debacle has to exist in one of these two worlds, then it makes sense to presume it might be the one from which most of these events originated. So that's what you meant.
あんたが転移するたびに違う世界に現れていたならこの限りでないけど向こうの世界にとらわれ続けている以上決定
It'd be more complicated if you appeared in a different world, but you've been appeared in the same cyclical pattern twice.
向こうの世界であんたが接触した人間に何の変化もなかったこともそう同じ条件で
Of course there's 4 timelines.
記憶をなくしているはず
She didn't slip up. there is extra, non-alternative, there's unlimited, there's alternative, and then there's extra with alternative, in which there's the timeline that he went back to go ahead and get the theory, the alternative 4 theory. So him going back and taking control of his body would create a 4th timeline, because in the first extra timeline he didn't do that. I think I'm on the right track. This may also be why everyone who came into contact with you in the other world hasn't changed into one bit. None of them would remember a thing by now. I see. So everyone over there should be safe from the effects. Thank goodness.
特に最後の人為的な世界転移で任意にこっちの世界の時間座標を選択することが可能だったっていう事実は向こうの世界が主体である証拠だわ。
More than anything, the fact that you're able to freely choose the point at this timeline at which you arrived during this experiment proves that the other alternative world is the source. I don't really get the logic behind that, but I recognize that it means the cause lies somewhere in the other world.
あんたを因果動態にした原因を探す。
So you need to find whatever it is that made you the casualty conductor.
その原因を排除したとき、
And once you've
そ
eliminated
の時あ
that,
んたの言っていた元の世界、確率時空ループの発生点、10月22日に帰れる。
will you be able to go back in time to October 22nd in the original extra non-alternative timeline? I can go back to October 22nd in the extra timeline? I can go back to that simple, carefree life. I can start over from the day Maya would first show up at my house. I can go home in the truest sense of the word.
ただ、原因を排除するまでは、あんたは向こうの世界にとどまり続けなきゃ
But you'll have to stay in the alternative world until you can get rid of it.
そんな精神状態で人類の生存をかけて
And I'm sure it'll be tough fighting for humanity's survival with that on your mind. You're right. But even so, it's better than disappearing altogether. It's much better than leaving everything unfinished. Better than just disappearing without taking responsibility for any of this. There's even a chance that I could undo all I've done. All these horrible events I brought upon everyone then... Whether I get back to my original world at the end or not, if I'm still willing to return to the other world, there's nothing I want more. Send me back. You have to. If you could do that, then maybe I...
気持ちはよく
You've made your feelings clear. So you sure you want to go back? Yes. I'm not going to run away again no matter what. But there's still one little thing I'm worried about. There's still one other person aside from Marimo and Sumiko who suffered because I ran away. What will happen to the original me?
そうね。あんたが向こうの世界に戻れば
Yeah, good question. If you were to... Yeah, it's actually kind of just like that. If you were to go back to the other world,
こっちの世界にはもともといた白金タケルがちゃんと
this Takuro would stay where he belongs. Well, that's good. So you could separate us then?
それでもあんたが関わって起こった事象はそのまま
Just keep in mind that the events that occurred as a result of your influence will remain.
気の毒浦島太郎よりはるかに過酷な
Which means he'll get a far ruder awakening than your average Rip Van Winkle. When the original me regains control of his body, he'll find Marimo dead, Sumika injured, and all of his friends forgotten about him. In a sense, it's kind of like what happened to me when I arrived in the other world. Oh man, have I left that guy one hell of a mess.
もう一度言う
I'll say this one more time.
あんたが向こうの世界に帰って原因を解消しない限りあんたが関わった
Until you get rid of whatever caused the loop back in the other world, the repercussions of your actions won't be undone.
もし因果動態でなくなればあんたは閉じた確率時空から解放されあんたが関わった事象の原因
If you cease to be a casualty conductor, then you'll be released from the cyclical fragment of space-time, destroying what caused these
それ
tragedies.
によってあんたがこの世界にもたらした事象も消
Which
滅
means
する
everything that's happened in this world will be undone. Fair? I'll do it. I don't care how many loops it takes. I don't care if it's going to be the rest of my life. I'm going to fix this.
ところがそんな悠長に構えていられないかもしれない
Hate to break it to you, but you might not get the luxury of trying over and over again.
こうしている間にもあんたのすべての因果情報がこっちの世界そのものが持つ世界の
Even as we speak, the sum total of your casualty information is overriding the very fabric. I'm overriding the timeline.
もちろんあんたが向こうの世界に戻ることでその書き込み
And
は一
to
時
be sure, you're going back to the other world to halt that
だ
process.
けどこっちの世界にあんたがいなくなったことで世界はまた欠けた白金タケルという
But in
存在を
doing so, you'll be
求め
creating a new imbalance, and sooner or later, the world will start trying to correct you by pulling it back.
前に言ったわよね他の世界から漏れ出す因果情報の本来の因果動態は世界の記憶だ
Remember what I told you before? The primary conductors for the casualty information are the timelines
あん
themselves.
たが残した事象マリモの死や鏡の事故それがこっちの世界に残っている
You've added new events to this timeline, Marimo's death, Kagami's injury, and as long as those phenomena remain
世
here,
界の記憶が向こうの世界からあんたの因果
this
情報を
world's timeline will continue to receive your casualty information ad nauseum.
そして時間が経過すればするほど 世界の記憶に書き込まれた因果情報がこっちの世界にもともといた白金タケルに修練
As time continues to pass, more and more of your galaxy information will be written to this timeline until it eclipses the original Shirogane.
そうなれば最終的にこっちの世界は向こうの世界の因果に支配されて
In fact, it's entirely possible that everything that happened in this world will eventually be dictated by events that took place in the other one. How does that work? So even if I go back, every awful thing that happens in the other world will just get drawn to the original me
あん
instead?
たは確か向こうの世界には10億人しか
You said there's a billion people left in the other world, right?
結果的にあんたがこっちの世界の50億人を殺すことになるかもしれ
Then
ない
if you fail, you'll be responsible for the deaths of 5 billion people in this world. So that's why Sensei said I'm as bad as the beta. It's not about Marimo and Sumika. I have to save 5 billion people in this world, not to mention the other billion left. There's 6 billion lives on my shoulders. I really can't afford to die now. Hypothetically speaking, what would happen if I died in the other world? Nothing.
私の推測ではあんたは
That's foreshadowing. If my theory's right, you won't be able to die. What? I can't die? You expect me to believe that? I know I'm a causality conductor, but how's that possible?
正確に言うとあんたはもちろん死ぬこともあるわおそらくあんたが覚えていないだけ
If we're being technical, you're not immortal. You've probably died several times, just don't remember. I've died several times? How?
そうよでもその度にあんたは同じ世界で目覚め同じ時間を繰り返したい
That's right, but you would just wake right back up and start over from square
向こう
one.
の世界の時間ループの終点はおそらくあんたが死ん
If
だ
I
時
had to
の
guess, I'd wager that every time you die, a new loop begins.
あんたが言ってた記憶の欠落ももしかしたらそれが原因で起こって
Which would explain why you don't retain your memories. So the reason my memory's so fuzzy and I don't remember what happened in the last timeline is because I died?
本来あんたが死んだ場合と死なない場合それ以外にも無限に分岐していくはずの世界があんたを起点に閉じてしまっているのよ
There are an infinite number of worlds in which you die or which you don't, but instead of branching off from one another, they're in a cyclical pattern.
あんたは自分でその原因を取り除かない限り絶対に解放されることがない確率時空の牢獄
And unless you could find and eliminate the cause, you'll be trapped in an interdimensional
それ
purgatory.
を自分でなさない限り絶対に許されない存在
Hello,
になってしま
Nietzsche.
ったのよ
If you can't find your way out of this, you'll become the monster you fear you've become. Monster? What the hell? Don't give me that. How am I to blame? The real monster is whatever did this to me. Why do I have to be a causality conductor? What did I do to deserve this? I have no idea what's behind all of this, but I'm letting it screw with my destiny any longer. I'm going to eliminate whatever causing these loops. I'm not running away anymore.
世界に
The fate of all the worlds, then, is in your hands. I know, so hurry up and send me
分
back.
かったわ
Alright, let's get it done. Are you sure you can pull it off? The other you said that after 24 hours, I'm done.
悔しいけどこっちの世界の私には世界観を転移
Well, I hate to admit it, she's right that I have no way of transferring you from this world to that one. You can't tell me that after such a huge pep talk.
最後まで話を聞きなさい世界転移は無
Let
理
me
で
finish. A transfer may be impossible, but there are other ways, like...
さっきの24時間の話あれは向こうから引き戻すのが無理になるということよ
The 24-hour limit only pertains to the point after which they can no longer pull you back from their end. But then what else is
わ
there?
かりやすい例えで説明すると向こうの世界から確率時空間を引き伸ばしてこっちの世界に突き刺していたのが実験の時の状
To
態
put it simply, what you were doing in your previous experiments was kind of like stretching out a piece of that world's space-time so it would overlap with this one.
今の白金の状態はこっちの世界に突き刺さっている時空間の先端部つまりあんたの周囲を切り離した状態なのよ
And right now, you're still at the tip of this outstretched piece of space-time. In other words, you've merely detached from the rest of the world.
向こうの世界で装置を止めるとあんたとその引き伸ばされた時空間とは24時間で完全に分離してしまう
As in, once they turned off the device, the outstretched piece of space-time was drawn thinner and thinner. After 24 hours, it snapped, leaving you the tip with it here. I see.
向こうの世界に送り出すことはできなくてもそのちぎれた先端部分を引き伸ばされてきている時空間に
We may not be able to send you there from the end, but we can reattach the tip, meaning you to the rest of the world's space-time. Incredible, but wouldn't we have to pull back the piece that got snapped?
そんなことしなくてもこっちの世界の
Yeah, exactly, that's why everyone's
向
dying.
こうの世界が引き伸ばされてきている
No need, the other world stretched out to the point where it's practically touching this one. And how do you know that?
私が教えて
Because I
くれた
told myself. What?
向こうの世界の私が
The other me told me.
教えて
You could communicate with the other world?
そんなことできたら何の苦労もない
Oh
わ
please, if I could do that, we wouldn't be in this mess. Stupid question. Then how?
最初にあんたが来た時私に渡した資
And the documents you gave me when you first came here.
万が一白金がこっちに残された場合の対処法がね何通りものケースが
She gave me directions of what to do if you got stranded. She was trying to find an account for every
向こう
eventuality.
に行ったらその包みが証拠私になら自分がやっ
So that's what that package was for.
想定されたケースの一つに、あんたが使命を放棄して逃げ出した時のことも書いてある。
One of these being the possibility that you might abandon your duty and move back to this world.
装置が不安定な上に、世界を救う数式を手に入れるまでは、あんたを逃がすわけに。
Of course, the device wasn't particularly reliable either, and she couldn't afford to have you get away before you got the equations. She was just taking necessary precaution. So she predicted all this from the very beginning? It kind of gets me mad, but I can't say I'm surprised. Thank God she's so anal.
実を言うと、私があんたを忘れなかった大きな。
There's a big reason even I haven't forgotten about you.
実際は恐る恐るだったことは白状するわ。でも、ある程度あんたに関わっても大丈夫。
I was pretty terrified of you on some level, I'll admit, but I knew that logically there was no danger in interacting with you to a certain degree.
だから関わることができた。
Or perhaps more
という
accurately,
方が正直よ。
the knowledge is what gave me the courage to do so. Of course she'd be scared. After seeing what happened to Marimo, it would be perfectly understandable to stay as far away from me.
元の世界で私に5万枚のコピー取らせ
Remember when I had you print out 50,000 pages of the original world? Oh, at first I thought they were to your theory, but you said it was only the first 100
残り
pages.
の4万枚以上があんた関連の記憶を書き出したものだったのよ。
The other 49,000 were logs I wrote out of my memories of you. Memories really to
あんたが
me.
持ってきた資料の一番最初の指示。
That was the first thing my other self instructed me to
装
do.
置の不備が原因であんたを引き戻すときに私の記憶も引っ張られる可能性がある。
She said that due to a defect in the transfer device, there's a chance I'd lose my memories when they pulled you back.
原因は2つの世界の事情や情報、つまり因果情報を2人の私が
Apparently, with each transfer, this defect would cause both of us to receive some casualty information from the other's
白
world.
金に会うときは必ず会話を録音しろ。会った後は必ず記録を読み返し録音を聞け。
Be sure to record every conversation you have with Shirogane and review both the audio recordings and your written memories after the fact. Those were the instructions. She never told me that. You could never mention anything about losing your memories of me back when I went to Between Worlds. I didn't think
装
so.
置の不備云々は
The part about the device being defective was probably a lie.
目的を遂行するためだったらそのくらいやるでしょう。自分でも嫌になるけど。
What's a white lie if it helps achieve goals? I can't say I condone it, but I'm not above it either.
世界転移の原理とその問題点、対処法は理屈的には矛盾なく組み立てられてい
The
る。
principles behind the transfer process and the instructions on how to handle any problems that arise were all spelled out in rigorous logic.
因果の誘導が現実に起こるまで何もが死んでしまうの
I was totally oblivious until events from that world started manifesting themselves here, until Marimo died.
悔しいわ。それを予測できない内容に改ざんされて
It's
いた
so
の
infuriating. I never even suspected that she might be pulling the wool over my eyes.
その可能性すら疑わないほど理論が実証されたことに舞い上がってしまった
I was so
自分
thrilled to have my theory proven right, I didn't even consider the possibility I was being misled. I wonder how it must feel to be deceived by your other self. I'm sure the original Shirogane talker of this world felt the same frustration of hatred
お
towards
そらく
me.
向こうの私は世界転移の成功を目の当たりにした私が舞い上がってそれを
I'm
信用
guessing
す
she
る
even
とこ
bet
ろ
on
を
me being
計算
too
してい
elated
た
about your successful transfer the second to guess anything she wrote. She really is incredible. She could even trick a parallel universe version of herself. Is that the kind of thing you do to be prepared to do in order to save humanity? Is there no other way to save our species than to manipulate others?
自分の目的に都合のいい部分は全て
This may sound conceited, but it was a stroke of genius. One lie mixed in with truth. She never lied about anything that was convenient for me to know, and that's why I was able to remember you.
そして鏡は偶然とはいえ私と同じような方法で
As for Kagami, purely by chance, she found the same exact method to keep her own memories from leaking away. Purely by chance. So then you think if everyone else had done the same, they might not have forgotten me?
私が装置の不備云々を信じていなければみんなにそうさせた可能性はある
Yes, and if I hadn't believed that lie about the device being defective, I must have made everyone else do that.
だけど今はやら
But
な
I'm
くて
glad
よ
I
かったと
didn't.
思う
Why?
そんなことをさせたらあらかじめ記憶の関連付けをしてしまって因果動態の影響を助長してしまう恐れがある
Because if I had, that would have simply brought all those memories to the forefront of their minds, rendering them far more vulnerable to the effects of casualty conductor. Because they would have been spending much more time thinking about and reminiscing about me than usual,
その通り
right?
よそれは恋愛感情を持っている
Exactly, people do that a lot when they're in love. Yeah.
そのタイミングであんたがその人間に特殊な感情を抱い
And
て
if at that point you happen to be harboring feelings for them, then all their memories would have been torn away the moment we interacted.
そうそしてたんまりと向こうの世界の因果を送り込む
Right, which would have opened the door for a lot more events from the other world to get sucked over here.
白金に対する思い
If only I noticed the relationship sooner, between their feelings for you and your feelings for them. But wait, that doesn't add up. If that's the case, then why was it Sumiko was able to remember me for so long?
ね私とあんたはお互いにその
Well, let's think. You and I have never had feelings for each other, have we? I mean, no.
それに対策も取っていたからね今のレベルで済んでいるのはそのおかげまあ 流出は確実に進行するから時間
And on top of that, I took precautions as to not forget you. That's why I've retained so much this far. Although it's only a matter of time before I lose my memories as well.
鏡についてはあの日記を見る限りあの日初めてあんたに対する自分の
As for Kagami from her diaries, that last day you spent together would be the only time she ever felt confident in her feelings for you.
思考の真相ではあんたのことが好きで好きでたまらないのに表層ではあんたに迷惑をかけたくない
Deep down, she was so in love with you she couldn't take it. She never let those feelings come to the surface out of fear they wouldn't be reciprocated.
あんたの負担にはなりたくないって強く考えていてあんたに自分を合わせようと一生懸命だったんじゃないかしら
The last thing she'd ever want to do is put you in an awkward position like that, so I'd wait as she was trying to bear her best to let you follow her lead and to define the relationship.
鏡は剣と違って自分の気持ちをあからさまに表現できている
After all, Kagami was never one to wear her heart on her sleeve like Mitsurugi does.
私らからすれば鏡の思いは見え見えだったけど何しろ相手は超のつく鈍感野郎だった
And while from our perspective Kagami's feelings couldn't have been more obvious, the object of her affection was a dunce who couldn't take a hint. It makes sense.
それがあんたとああいうことになってもうあんたには自分しかいないって考えたら
But after the intimate moment you shared, she realized that she was the one you wanted, so she couldn't have any reason to hide it.
あんたを助けようとして自分でそうしたんでしょう
Actually, no. She probably laid herself bare in hopes that she could be your harbor from the storm. And at that point, it was too late. Not even her diaries could help her. I'm gonna destroy what's ever causing this, so please, just hang in there,
ま
Sumika.
たメソメソするんじゃないかと思ったけど大したもの
Wow, I guess for sure you're gonna start crying and sibling again. I guess I owe you a little more credit. I can't let myself cry anymore. I don't have the time. Yeah, all I should be focusing on now is getting back to the other world and getting it done.
しいわね
Glad to hear it. Oh, don't worry. I'll be sure to give the other Yuko a little payback.
ぜひお願いする
God, please do. Make it good. I will. I'll definitely need Yuko's help if I'm even going to stand a chance locating the cause of the other world. But I also can't let her take the reins on anything anymore, so like I've always done, I need to start capitalizing on our little relationship for my own purposes too. If I can destroy all this cause of this, then everything will change, and these tragedies can become undone. Sensei, could you tell me how you're going to reattach me to that outstretched chunk of
そ
space-time?
れはついて
You'll find out when we arrive. Fair enough.
ついたわよ
We're here, you can get out. Where are we?
白陵大学の原子力関連研究
The
施設
Hakuryou University Nuclear Research Facility. We have one of those?
東大元暮らしってねまここの原子炉は出力が低いんだけど忍び込みやすいから
Convenient, isn't it? Right in our own backyard. Ideally, we'd want a reactor with higher output, but any bigger facility would be swarming with security. A nuclear reactor? How are we going to get you to use one of those to get me back to the other world?
中に入ればわかるわよ
You'll see when we get in. What could she possibly have in mind? They don't have like a spare transfer device, right? Even if they did, it would take all the power in the entire base to get it up and running in the other timeline. I highly doubt a teeny tiny little reactor in a college lab could come close to that amount of power output. So how do we get in? We just can't walk on through to the front gate. The perimeter wall is pretty high, and even if we climb the chain link fence, there's barbed wire. I don't see any cameras, but there is a guard.
軍隊で訓練積んだんでしょあんな見張りさっさと気絶させ
You have
ない
military
関係
training,
バカさ
right? Just go knock out that guard, take the keys. I mean, yeah, I've gone through training, but
じゃ手早く片
make
付
it
け
quick then. Oh, Sensei, please. Knocking people out isn't as easy as what they make it look like on TV.
どうしてよ
Why not? Military training only covers how to kill people, and I haven't received any specialized stealth or infiltration training. I know plenty of ways to kill someone, but I'm not just going to murder someone in cold blood. And if I hold back like we do in training, it'll turn into a normal fistfight. It's not going to knock them out. Sure, we've had various kinds of close quarters combat, but that's the most I could get us together on so we could better control PSFs.
肝心なところで役
You're
に
not
立
good
た
for
ないの
much,
ね
are you? Well, excuse
で
me.
も障害は排除しないといけないわや
But
る
we
し
need
か
to
な
get
い
through
わよ
here. You'll have to take him out. What do you mean take him out? You know, I'm just going to have a look around. The guard looks so out to lunch. There's no way he's going to spot me, but I should still be careful. Look, he's totally oblivious to my presence. He's even yawning. I only see one soldier, guard, I mean, so it's just him and whoever else is on patrol. Small as it be, it's a nuclear reactor. Why are they lax on security? Anyone really determined to break in here would have an easy time to do it. Guess it just shows to show how peaceful Japan is. Killing the guard and taking his keys would definitely be the easiest approach, but I ain't doing that. Even if it is to save the world, there's no justifying cold-blooded murder. The other Yuko would probably call that a childish way of thinking, but I can't be broken about Marimo's death while simultaneously cracking some guard's neck like it's no big deal. Should we climb the fence? Nope, too much noise. Whatever it's gonna do in here won't be quick. So if someone catches us and calls the cops, we're done. In which case, only one way to go. We'll have to break into that fence behind the facility. I'll head back. Okay, we can get in.
やっぱり倒すの
So you're gonna take him out? Nope. You just got some tools in your car, right? And I'm gonna need them.
そう
I think so. I'm not sure what though. Makes sense. Can't really see Sensei doing repairs. Most people keep a car jack though, at least. But on second thought, does her car even have a trunk? Does your Stratos have a trunk? Of course it does. Don't be ridiculous. That's where the toolbox would be. Yeah, there were a few things in there. Well, this was the door to the trunk? It's actually bigger than it looks from the outside. You got a lot crammed in here. I found the tools, but what's this huge duffel bag for? Well, that's where she keeps her lab coat. It's seen better days. Tell me that. I don't want to get my clothes dirty. Oh, we're taking that as well. The duffel bag. You're carrying that. Alright, sure thing. It's heavy, but be careful. It's got wheels, though, so you can just roll it on the ground. I can't. They'll totally hear us. Oh, she wasn't kidding. This thing weighs a ton. Oh, and guess what? You lucked out. Takes a long time to get a nuclear reactor up and running. Okay. You need to start it up several days in advance to raise the output. The university was planning a big experiment for tomorrow, though. Let's do this thing. Great, so they're gonna have to postpone the experiment because of us. Any way I could help? For now, let's just keep an eye out. I'm gonna cut a hole in the fence with wire cutters. This isn't nearly as exciting as I thought it would be. You're less of a soldier and more of a burglar. Give me a break. This is how espionage works, and without special tools, this is the best we can do. Don't tell me soldiers spend all day shooting each other like in the movies. You're not even gonna be like, oh, I got every right to come into this town or something? What? And you'll be like, not on my watch, and like blow up a gas station? What are you talking about? An old movie. You don't say. Well, who the heck do you think I am? An action hero? The whole point of this operation is to not get spotted, in case you forgot. Anyway, I'm gonna make an opening for us, so tell me if you see guards. I forgot to use gloves. This is bad. They're definitely gonna dust for prints here. What's gonna happen to the other me then? I don't think Yuko can use her authority to cover up something like that. Too late. I had to keep going. Finally halfway. How'd you get inside? The gate was open. The rear entrance? Well, we should be okay now. We'd better be. Don't expect help from me. I'm the brains. You're the brawn. Is that just a roundabout way of calling me stupid? Is that guard still alive? Yeah, he is. It's not completely unharmed. Wasn't expecting to run into more security immediately after getting inside. I managed to knock him out, but I might have broken a few bones. I feel terrible. I hear you were saying you couldn't knock a guy out. That's not the issue. No? Well, at least I can finally calm down. You sure about that? You're not looking so hot. Truth be told, I feel like I'm gonna puke. Let's get this over with. Okay. First, put the bag on the table, carefully. Can do. Whoop, there we go. Thanks. Now, could you connect all those cables according to the schematics for me? I need to adjust some settings. Okay. These cables? Oh, they're thicker than my thumb. There we go. What is this? You feel some microwave at the PlayStation too. Rude. For your information, that device is going to send your ungrateful blood to the other world. This thing? This far removed from the device in the other world? What are you expecting? The other me carried clout. I'm just a high school teacher. There's a limit of what I have, you know. Right. It's definitely got some more homemade feel to it. What, you don't like it? It's just that in the other world, the device required an enormous amount of power. With our military base and fail-safes, we had blackouts even. You don't say. Actually, couldn't we have gotten access to a more reliable power source just by asking Maya? Then I wouldn't have had to knock out the guard. True. Mitsurugi's probably would have lent us a reactor or two. Then why not ask? The thing is, you're the only one who could have asked her. She's not that stingy. If it were me, she would have at least asked for a reason. Well, yeah, but you could have made up something. No matter what lie you came up with, sooner or later she would have noticed you were involved. And what do you think would have happened then? Oh. Marimo died and Kagami almost joined her. You really think Mitsurugi would willingly give me access to something dangerous after those incidents? We're talking about an experiment requiring a nuclear reactor and enormous amounts of power. If Mitsurugi knew you were the guinea pig, I'm pretty sure she would have been more concerned with your safety. You're probably right. It would have been far more hassle than it was worth, and you really think you could have somehow avoided coming into contact with her throughout the whole process? Good point. That would have been just as dangerous for her as it would have been for us. Probably not a risk we could afford to take. You don't have to worry about it either way. Even with this little reactor, we'll have more than enough output to connect to the severed tip of space-time. I see. Yep, nope, Yuka wouldn't waste her time anyways. Output aside, are you sure that device is gonna work? I've tested it several times, so it should be fine. My old prototype model works so well I managed to bring a cat. Bring a cat into this world, that sounds so familiar. Yep, I'll have it in extra. On top of that, those documents you brought include blueprints from the other self's device, so don't worry about it. I guess you're right. Of course, you didn't consider my limited resources, so the list of components included some materials I have no possible way of getting, but that is a very me thing to do. I guess I'll be able to tour out a bit when you get back. In any case, you should be glad I had the chance to run a few tests beforehand. This isn't my first time using this thing. Well, sure, but I mean, just look at the thing. You could tell isn't a reliable piece. I haven't gotten a wink of sleep since Remo died, because I've been slaving away on this thing every night, and it's only got it up to the spec this morning. There's not time to make it look pretty. As long as it does what it's supposed to. That's the spirit. Why didn't you tell me sooner? The art style looks better. Tell you what. There was a chance I could go back. Even if it wasn't a sure thing, I feel like you could have at least mentioned it. This might sound like a petty excuse. I didn't want to risk giving you false hope, not until I completed the device and made sure there weren't any more lies in the instructions. After getting deceived once, I don't blame her. In addition to that, I decided I wasn't going to tell you if you found the necessary resolve, even if, for example, I'd finished the device. Because if you sent me back before I got my act together, I would have run away all over again. Sensei? Correct. When you get back to the other world, this is a new song. In the other world, they're going to be forced to deal with the fact that people will die as a result of your actions again and again, and not due to casualty either. If you ever want to achieve your objective, you have to accept that it's going to cost other people their lives, and not just a few people. When that does happen, you're going to start feeling more torn between your mission and your ethics than you ever have before. Will you really be able to deal with that? When things start falling apart, will you still be able to make the hard decisions that will save the world, however cruel they are? If I could, I'd gladly go in your stead. I wish I could bring Marimo back with my own two hands. And yet, unfortunately, restoring order to all the worlds is something you've been out of shape. It's something only you could do, this casualty conductor. And if you don't have what it takes to do that, there's no point in me sending you back. If you don't recognize the weight of that responsibility, you have no right to go back. So do you still want to go? I have to. I'm going to find whatever it is that made me a casualty conductor, and I'm going to destroy it. Just wait and see. I'm going to save every single world like I roped.
案外見る目があったってことかしら。かぶってなさい。気が散るでしょ。鏡のこと好きなのよね。質問に答えなさい。声が小さい。あんたの思いはそんなものなの？もっともっと。パラパチトルニウム鋼よ。いけるわ。鏡はどこかにいるはずよ。だからこそ奇跡が起きた。しっかりやんなさいよ、白金タケル。
All of a sudden, everything looks different. No tears left to shed. Where am I? This is the transfer device from the other world. I'm back. I made it back. I still got Yuko's lab coat. Kagami has to exist in that timeline somewhere. Yep. She wouldn't be left alive here otherwise. So get out there and show them who's boss. I actually made it back and it's all thanks to you. Now there's something I didn't expect to see. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. We're gonna, no tears left to shed. We're gonna go ahead and continue it up tomorrow. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Tonight was absolute pain train. But we have further resolve now. So, let's see where this takes us. Thank you guys again so much. Have a nice night. I know I left it off at such a good part, but we'll see you tomorrow.